several orders, so you can actually collect these as well. But they're really good. We'll tell you more about them in a second. But very quickly, I have got the most beautiful euphorbia, and we've got Miner's Merlot, we've got Black Pearl. These are absolutely gorgeous. We've got Dianthus. And these are the baby Doris ones. They come back year after year. They're really pretty. An evergreen shrub collection. And this is a wonderful selection of shrubs that look good all year round at an incredible price. You're going to get things like Choicea. We've got Photinia down there. It might be anonymous, but you will get 6 evergreen plants that are looking great right now at an amazing price. And then also, we have got our rhododendron Bollywood as well, which is absolutely spectacular. It's just beginning to come into flower, and it's stunning, but I love the variegated foliage that you've got on that as well. So that's a little preview. Bex was actually putting me off there because she was modelling the bag.
Oh, well, I just thought there's lots of different uses.
Oh, so when it rains...
When it...
Yes. Not that it ever rains, Bex, in the UK. No, it never rains, does it? No, it never rains.
It's just started raining again. I'm so sick of the rain. It's going away.
I've had a couple of sunny days, actually.
I know. Yeah. We had some glorious days. I spent a few days in the garden. Yeah. It was absolutely beautiful. Remember your free gift, absolutely one with every single purchase. I've got a whole bunch of exciting things over here, starting off with our summer bulb collection. 7 different varieties included in here. You are going to want to get some of these in the ground pretty quickly, but it's not too late, and you've got flowers and colour for many, many months. The Malice Appletini. Now, I have got this. I've brought it in to show you as well. This is super, super cute. A really compact mini apple tree. Loads and loads of these tiny, well, not tiny, but smaller red apples. Perfect, I think, for lunchbox sizes. This one's quite interesting, and we're going to be honest, Shaun and I don't have a pond. We don't know much about these, but this is really, really interesting if you have got a pond, because this is all about value. You're going to get 6 of these amazing pond plants in the collection here. We've also got the Calabricoa Million Bells. Now, we were trying to bring this to you last week, but we couldn't. We can this week, though. That one's absolutely beautiful. Oh, and the eucalyptus, the Gunnii azura. Now, this is really, really special as well, because I know plenty of people that would love to grow a eucalyptus in their garden, but they just don't have the space. But this one stays really nice and compact. This is not going to grow to 12 metres like normal eucalyptus. This is going to stay lovely and compact. So that's my little preview. We've still got a lot of other things as well behind us down here. We'll be changing these over, but please don't forget.
I know.
It's absolutely free, and it's really, really useful.
We found out about this last week, and we're both very excited. Now, just a few things you need to know if you are a brand new viewer. To get the free gift and to get any of the promotions that are running today, you do need to put in the offer code, which is YGTV1424. And that will give you your free gift, but also unlock any of the other special discounts and promotions. And you actually get one of these free with every separate order. So sometimes it just works out better to place separate orders. Sometimes it doesn't, because postage is free when you spend over £40, but also it's capped at £6.99. So if you spend, say, £30, you've got several items, the most you'll pay is £6.99. But these are so strong, Bex, aren't they?
They're really, really strong. You can see the stitching that's on there. The handles are stitched into place as well. I used these last year to grow the potatoes.
Yes, I remember.
So you know the potato kit we do? Sometimes we do it with the heavy-duty pots, sometimes we do it with the grow bags. I use these, but they're excellent to have in the garden. They're handy, aren't they? You can use them for log storage, carrying your logs if you've got
just weeding and things. I did loads of weeding yesterday.
Did you?
Yeah, I still got loads to do that. But I even grew fruit trees in here. I only had them in there for about 3 years, and I'll be honest, I did put them in really big pots. But I actually had 3 fruit trees growing in these, and they did great.
So they've got holes in them, so there is areas for them to drain out of. But even when these are full with compost, you can actually use the handles to move them around, because they are stitched into place and they're really, really strong, very durable.
I don't think I've ever seen a handle break on these.
No, I haven't.
And they're really good, even for things like shopping. Quite often if you've got really heavy stuff that you're taking back from the supermarket, great for recycling, all sorts of uses.
Yeah, and they're absolutely free, and that's the most important thing.
Yes.
Free with every single purchase. Ignore that, you don't need the item code. All you need is that one down there, the offer code. When you place an order, there's a little box and it says, do you have an offer code? Yes, you do. Always, always enter the... Well, it's always different every week, actually. But enter our special offer code. Unlocks the free gift, unlocks all the deals.
Yeah. And don't forget, free postage on all orders over £40. So get yourself some compost today. We've got loads more coming up as well. We've got the gorgeous hydrangea.
Okay, I'm excited about this.
I am.
This one I'm super excited about. This is the hydrangea hot chocolate. The colours of the flowers on that are going to be incredible. Adore that.
And we've got a really special lilac coming up as well, which is a lot more compact.
Deep
and it
purple.
flowers twice as well.
Very nice.
Twice in one season. But we've got so much to show you. We better make a start.
Yeah.
And we both absolutely adore this one.
Yeah, the Exacordia.
We've never grown this, but we were saying neither of us have ever grown one of these. I don't know why not.
No, and I really don't know why not, because this is absolutely
so pretty.
Beautiful. It's also known as the pearl bush, because as you can see on here,
look.
the beautiful little buds that appear on here, they do look like miniature pearls, and then they open up into some of the most outstanding, just bright white blossoms on there.
I mean, they are so pretty.
Pretty, aren't they?
And you're so right,
how
they
many
really
blooms?
do look like polished pearls, don't they, the buds?
There's going to be so many flowers on there. Look at all of these buds. There are so many of them. They're going to be so pretty when they all open.
Is it weird? I don't know why I've never grown one.
No, me neither. I genuinely have
Stunning,
no idea.
Isn't it?
It's really, really pretty. It's a great addition to any kind of spring garden. As you can see, this is bursting into bloom right now. And those buds looking like little pearls are just
I'm just
gorgeous.
imagining this in my garden right now with hyacinths around it, maybe purple hyacinths.
Yeah.
But this is what it becomes.
Yeah, and do you know what? The blooms here, because a lot of blooms that come out at this time of year, well, or some of them at least, they can get a bit affected by frosts.
Yeah.
You know, the late frosts that we get, but this one is unaffected by those late frosts. So this one's a really good one. And it's relatively compact as well. So if you have got a smaller garden and you don't want something to get unruly and out of control, this one should stay nice and compact. We are only talking maybe at full height, 1.5 meters height and spread here. So absolutely wonderful for mixing into your borders.
It's absolutely gorgeous.
It
I'm just
is,
thinking
isn't it?
what's in flower in my garden right now. And I don't think there's anything that's probably quite as pretty as this.
It's so gorgeous.
It's stunning, isn't it?
Yeah, I really like it.
And a really good size. It does come in the 19 centimetre pot, so it's really well established.
Yep.
Yours should arrive covered in buds, maybe with a few of the flowers
Perfect
coming
time
out.
to get it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because it's in bud right now, so you will get some of that beauty. Obviously, you get all this glorious foliage as well on there. It is deciduous, so it will drop its leaves. This might be a great one for positioning. You know, some deciduous plants, they are absolutely perfect for placing in front of windows, because you don't want all the leaves over the winter when you've got the shorter days. When this comes into bloom like this, that's going to be so eye-catching in your garden, isn't it?
I think that's going to be really popular today.
You can find a space for that, Shaun.
I can.
You can definitely find a space
And
in your garden.
I love creamy whites in the garden, because then all the other colours that you've got really pop out. Yeah, my forsythia's in flower right now. I'm just imagining this near the forsythia.
Yeah,
Would look gorgeous.
Oh, it's tolerant of most soils. You don't have anything specific. You don't have to have anything special.
Good.
It just doesn't want anything waterlogged. That's the only rule here, really. Any other type of soil, this is going to be absolutely fine.
But you'd be pleased to know we have got some plants that love water. They're pond plants coming up a little bit later on. They'll be fine. Right, we're going to move on to the hibiscus next. I adore hibiscus. And this is Woodbridge. This has actually got the Award of Garden Merit, hasn't it, from the
It
OHS?
has,
So it's that just means it's a true performer here in the UK. Bex and I often talk about the Award of Garden Merit, and to actually achieve that from the OHS, will have gone through rigorous testing.
Totally. I mean, we often say it, and I hope that we always talk about how important it is that something's got the Award of Garden Merit, because it's really rigorously trialled and tested. But what it tells us is that, you know, it's peace of mind. We can grow it relatively easily in our gardens. I can't believe quite how much foliage is already on here, because hibiscus can be a little bit late to show its foliage, and I was actually surprised. Mine is, you know, it's coming out.
Warmer, hasn't
but it can be right up until May before you start seeing that they're working this year.
Every year, without fail, my mum always says, "Oh, I think my hibiscus have died this year."
I love your mum impression.
It's very good, honestly.
I love it.
And I said, "No, Mum, they're fully winter hardy. It'll be fine." She said, "Oh, well, it's May and there's no sun alive." But anyway, they always come back. As you said,
Good morning, Carol.
She'll hate me for doing that impression. But I mean, there are some hibiscus that are not winter hardy. Though you'll see them in the Mediterranean things. This one is fully winter hardy. Look at the flowers, Bex.
Yeah, I love the colour of the flowers here because you've got that lovely pink, but it's got this kind of lilac-y tinge to it as well. So it's not just pink. There's this beautiful hue going on.
I love the centres as well, don't you?
They just look so exotic, don't they?
That's the thing.
That's what I love about the hibiscus flower.
And you do look at this and think, oh, surely, because it is so exotic, it looks like it belongs in, I don't know, Hawaii, even places like that.
Yeah, totally.
But no, fully winter hardy, ideal for the UK. Very easy to grow. Does love a little bit of sun though. Loves full sun, doesn't it?
Yeah, you absolutely want to put this in full sun. This is why my hibiscus is growing in a pot, because I just know if I put it into the borders, they're not going to get. I mean, I've got one sunny border. The others are a bit too shaded. You need full sun, and when we say full sun, it means a minimum of sort of 6 hours worth of sunshine, really. So make sure you do that. Perfect in a border. Perfect in a pot as well. Just obviously, if it is in a pot, you need to keep an eye on the watering, as you would with any other plant you keep in a pot.
But so easy to grow. They don't really require loads of pruning either.
No, and the thing I love about hibiscus is that it's a transitional plant, isn't it? So it'll flower for you in the summertime, but it keeps going for you.
Yeah, it's kind of it's late flowering, isn't it?
Yeah, it can go right the way through, depending on the season, depending on where you live. But, we know October has been very mild for many years now. This can go and transition from that summer into autumn for you, and it'll still give you those beautiful flowers.
And actually, when I think of my mum's garden, she's got several of these. Yeah, quite a few things, like the poppies and things, have all died back, and yet the hibiscus that's when it's really come to life.
At its best, isn't it?
So that's a gorgeous, great price. But anyway, it's already well established. It is early to be in leaf, this one, but it has been mild.
We're not going to complain about that.
No,
I'm happy with that.
No, $16.99. If you are a club member, $15.29 is all you need to pay. Yeah. Right, left to right, Bex.
That way?
I think so. Stu, are you with us?
Yes.
Yeah. Stu's in charge. If you're thinking, who's Stu, by the way? He's our technical genius.
He's our boss.
Yeah, so he
tells us what to do.
He does.
Tells us where to go.
Tells us when we're rubbish. Right.
Oh, we got the compost coming up. Don't forget
yes.
that. Yes. Premium professional.
Great day to get your compost. I love that free gift as well, don't you?
Yeah.
But we're going to go to Bollywood now. Now, when we think of Bollywood, we do think of brilliant, bright colours, don't we?
Oh, absolutely.
We don't think of beige and boring, do we?
We do not think of beige and boring, and this is where this rhododendron really comes in, because not only are you going to get all of those beautiful blooms, and look how many of them are starting to come out. This plant is going to get completely covered in them, and they are exotic and luscious and silky and glorious. But what you've got on this particular rhododendron.
Well, the details of the hibiscus were there, so don't miss out. Here we go. Rhododendron.
On this rhododendron is gorgeous foliage colour as well, because you've got that variegation.
Let me just show you this lot.
And what I will say about the variegated leaves is it really makes the plant stand out. I've finally planted my fatsia at the end of the garden, but because of the variegation on it, it really pops, it really stands out. And that's what you're going to get with this rhododendron. You will get those glorious flowers, and loads of them. There's so many buds on there, but when it's not in flower as well, you've still got really gorgeous interest with that variegated leaves.
Yeah, it is totally evergreen. These always look great pretty much every single week of the year. Does need ericaceous compost, so it is one of the acid-loving plants. So if you get it in a pot, just make sure you buy ericaceous compost. If it's in a bed or border, just mix them in the actual planting hole. And if ever you've got a plant that is acid-loving and it starts to look a little bit sick, and it probably just needs an ericaceous feed. Yeah,
absolutely. And Adam, who was here with me at the weekend, was saying another way you can do this is actually bury the pot, because then what you don't get is the leaching of the soil and mixing up. I quite like that idea. Obviously, you need to put it in a slightly bigger pot, but fill that with ericaceous and then bury the entire pot. Love that idea.
Yeah, it is a good idea, actually. Yeah. If you want a mixed border of plants.
Absolutely.
But that's a gorgeous specimen, isn't it? I love the colour of the flowers, love the foliage. Nice and compact growing, the rhododendron, so it's not going to be invasive or anything like that. I always think rhododendrons, they do pretty well in sun and part shade, don't they?
I think rhododendrons like a bit of shade in the hottest part of the day. So, if you can shade them a little bit from that midday sun, they like a siesta. I like that. They'd like a little snooze. I like a little snooze in the hottest part of the day. I don't often get one, but... It's nice
I never
sometimes.
get one, I don't think. But that is only £27.99, club price £25.19. Now, I think it's really interesting when you look around your garden in the winter, isn't it? And so many plants can just look like twigs. Lots of plants disappear, all the herbaceous ones, like your lupins, etc. They all die down. So it's always important to have some foliage that looks good all year round. And this collection is going to be 6 evergreen shrubs. So you're always going to have great foliage. You're also going to get flowers and interest as well. But can you see the price?
Yeah.
$14.99. That is incredible value. I mean, club price $13.49, and bear in mind you're going to get your free gift today, your heavy duty bag as well. That is phenomenal value. Contents will vary because we tend to, whatever's in season looking particularly good, that's what you'll get.
Yes.
So this gives you an idea of what you'll get right now in April.
They should have, arrive named. So
Oh,
obviously
yeah.
we've got a beautiful Photinia. These are looking glorious at the moment, aren't they? With the beautiful red leaves and things on there. What's this one? This one is the Choicea.
Oh, I've got a Choicea right now just coming into bud.
Absolutely love Choicea. We've got a Euonymus here. You
Yeah.
were saying this one looks really interesting.
Well, that's called Emerald Gold, and because we were both we talked about.
I'm always a bit down on
Euonymus, and I've got a few. And some are it's a little bit boring,
but they have their place,
yeah.
don't they?
But I think that's a really interesting one because it's got all the gold colours in the new growth.
What's this
Really
one?
nice.
Viburnum. We've got the French white in here. We know how glorious viburnum is, don't
Yeah.
we? Lovely,
great
evergreen.
fragrance, gorgeous
Lovely.
white flowers.
Yeah. What's
Now this is one that I hadn't grown.
the Acuba, the Rosanne, this one's called. Yeah, I haven't grown this one either.
But when you think about it, this is the one that gets the glorious red berries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
I
see
think
those,
I tell a lie, I did have one in my last garden.
That must be that one there, yeah. Oh, that one there.
No, that's different.
Is that?
Yeah, different leaf.
Oh, there you go.
Sorry.
But they are all evergreen.
But you might, this gives you an idea because some of these, like there's a ceanothus at the bottom there. You might get a ceanothus. It just depends what is looking great in the nursery right now.
They have great value
Yeah.
for money. Absolutely perfect if you've got some gaps in your borders. Why not fill those with an evergreen shrub collection at an amazing price? We do tend to do quite well with these kind of collections because they're specially curated, really well put together. Our head gardener always has an input into the collections, and he really does know what he's talking about when it comes to gardens, doesn't he?
And I always think these, if you're putting together maybe some pots, having an evergreen shrub in the centre is great because then you've always got foliage, and then you can put your winter bedding around it in, obviously wintertime, summer bedding around it in summer. But that value is absolutely incredible.
It is. If you went to a garden centre and bought 6 of those in the 9-centimetre pots, you could be paying £3-4 each, couldn't you?
Yeah. My local garden centres put their prices up, so you could be paying more. Anyway, that is the Evergreen Shrub Collection, saving £5. Even our usual price is really good. And all of you lovely club members, all you pay with your discount is £13.49. There's that viburnum there. Elaine, good morning.
Good morning, Elaine. Thank you for joining us. Hello, Alison. Oh, you've been to the hairdressers. I went last night.
Have you had a new do? But it's
Shouldn't have bothered because it's raining.
so annoying when that happens, isn't it?
That happened when I went to the hairdressers last night just to get my roots done.
I thought the hair looked good today.
just
I couldn't
covered up the
put, I couldn't put my finger on it, but I was like, yeah.
Walked out the door, tipping my brain. I was like, pointless. At least I haven't got grey roots anymore.
So my mum had a friend Terry staying down over Easter, and Terry's 92. He's amazing, and but he's a really lovely man. But he's broad Yorkshire, and he just doesn't know how to sort of like, what's the word? He doesn't know how to. It just doesn't sound very romantic, and yet he's got a heart, and he's romantic. But I'll never forget. My mum came back from having her hair done, and Terry sat there, and what did he say? Oh, have you had your hair done yet? Man was like, what do you mean I've had my hair done? God, I've had my hair done. But it was just I didn't mean it like that. But anyway, sorry your hair's got wet. Who else is watching? Who else is saying hello this morning?
Morning, Philip. He's asking if we're okay. We are fabulous.
Great.
We're here together in the potting shed. We're always happy.
And I tell you, we're really happy because it's just so nice to get. We can actually get home after work and do a bit of gardening now because it's late enough.
Yeah.
So that
Those
keeps us
clocks
happy.
changing. That's made a big difference, hasn't it? Oh, Amanda. She's watching from the dentist's office. Oh, Amanda. I hope it's nothing too serious. I hope it's just a checkup.
Yes. But lovely to have all of you coming this morning.
Neil.
Yeah, Neil's sort of in and out, isn't he, on a weekday sometimes? But Neil, always nice to hear from you.
Ron, his oleanders have just arrived.
What's he think of them? You've got the white standards.
Oh, they're going to be so pretty.
They are.
That's a good choice, Ron. Well done.
White standard. We didn't have many of those, actually.
We didn't.
No, well done for getting them. We've still got a few in stock, but well done for getting those.
Well, we have got the oleander bushes on the show later on. Is it still a buy one, get one?
Yeah.
It is. You buy one, get one free. Shades of pink oleander bushes. They're coming up a bit later on,
Yeah, so we've
hopefully.
got loads to show. But yeah, keep those messages coming. Any questions as well, we will do our very best to answer those. Between us, we've got a really good knowledge of gardening, so we should be able to answer. And if
Hopefully.
not, we will consult our head gardener. So the only thing on the show, we've just been really honest, the pond plants, I mean, we've read up on them, but we've neither of us ever had a pond. I want a pond, it's on my list, but we've never had a pond.
No, you'll soon learn once you get a pond going.
I will.
My mum and dad used to have a pond, but I wasn't interested in gardening back then, so I didn't really learn anything. But yeah, if you know anything about ponds, if you know anything about pond plants, we are inviting your knowledge, your information. By all means, let us know. Mention on the Facebook chat, on the YouTube chat, or send us any emails. We do have an email address, which is ygtv@yougarden.com. Those will go directly through to Stuart, who's just through that wall right there in the control room. He will check out all the comments, send us any pictures. We'll show them on screen as well.
But can we remind you of the free gift?
Yeah,
just
get it.
because it's really good today. I think we're going to have loads of orders coming in. With every single purchase day, you get one of these free. We do sell them for $4.99. And actually, if you manage to get maybe 2 or 3 of these, we sell potato kits with just the potato seeds. So that would be a great idea. You could grow potatoes in it every single year. But whatever you order, that will go in your basket as long as you use the code YGTV1425. But they are brilliant just for weeding and general tidying up as well. Great for carrying heavy things in. We cannot emphasise enough how well made they are.
Yeah, they're really
brilliant.
Strong, really sturdy. They'll last you for a long time, those.
Yeah, they're really good. And one of our most popular items. Right.
Stu's giving us suggestions.
Yeah, but we're ignoring them.
They're not sensible suggestions.
Right, we better move on then, because we remember in our previous life, we actually had these on one of our gardening shows. Both of us used to work for a shopping channel, you may remember. And these flew out, didn't they?
They did. We didn't get to show them for very long. I remember these coming in and then they disappeared and we didn't get to show them again. These are always super, super popular. They were brand new in 2022, a couple of years ago. And these are, so they're named after the 70-year-old variety, which we know as Doris. But these are the
small ones, aren't
baby
they?
Doris.
I do remember them very clearly, do you?
Yeah, totally. So these are the baby Doris. They are just that bit smaller, basically. Lovely and compact, only reaching like 30 by 30 centimetres, so not massive at all. But these are beautiful for a variety of places. You know, as a in a pot just like that.
I mean, look,
wow. But mixed into the front of borders. They're just classic. They're glorious. They've got a beautiful scent. They're really instantly recognisable, and they're just an outstanding performer.
Yeah. And
flowering for ages.
Well. Yeah. Jewel's got the foliage, but they do pretty much flower all summer long, don't they?
All summer long, yeah. You get them. I mean, they start flowering any time from now, really. Once you get these home and start them off, you know, they will start normally from somewhere in April onwards. Obviously,
and it's amazing how quickly these grow and spread, actually.
Totally, and you get that lovely foliage on there as well. It's that lovely sort of silvery green foliage. But
look at those.
We're growing it for the flowers, aren't we?
Yeah, I mean, I love the different shades of pink in there, and the centres are absolutely gorgeous, and then the edges there.
Yeah, they're so pretty.
Yeah.
So they come to you as these gorgeous little plug plants. They do come in the little mini greenhouse there, totally ready for you to get those started off, get those planted. I mean, they are winter hardy, so you could probably plant these out now, can't you?
Yeah, totally.
If you wanted to, I think you'd be fine planting these out. If you want to start them off in a greenhouse or, you know, on your windowsills or something and then plant them out once they've got a bit more established, up to you, really. But I think they'll be fine to plant out. They're
actually very easy to grow, but as Bex was saying, with it being a smaller variety, great for the front of borders, an amazing value. But I do remember those from a couple of years ago, and they absolutely flew, and I think the same is going to happen today. Gorgeous dianthus. They just come back year after year. They flower and flower. They're just, I always think dianthus are just great value. There are some things in the garden that only look good for a few weeks. There are some things that don't come back year after year. These are evergreens, so you've always got the foliage, but they just flower for such a long time with very little effort.
Very little effort.
Bit of deadheading. They do like sun though, don't they?
Sunshine, yeah. And you can even cut these as well and bring them indoors. You can make gorgeous little posies from these. Obviously, cutting them will be essentially deadheading them. That will encourage new blooms to come through as well.
God.
It's really good.
Right, the black pearl's coming up a little bit later on, but we have got the Miner's Merlot, and I bought this last week actually, already arrived and just waiting to be planted.
Yeah, love these.
Euphorbia this time of year, kind of April, May, they look magnificent. And Bex, you actually got this last year, didn't you?
I did, and it is one of my favourite plants in the garden. It genuinely is, because I've done very little to it. But it looks amazing. It's really super low maintenance. It just does its thing. And right now, the flowers that are appearing on here, the mixture of the foliage as well, the dark coloured foliage, and then these sort of frothy, limey, greeny, yellow coloured flowers that come on here, they stand out so perfectly against that darker foliage.
I mean, look at that.
There it is. I mean, it is stunning. And look how many buds are on there. You can see those flowers are open, but look at how many buds are on there. I should have gone out and taken another video and seen what it's... I'll go out this afternoon. I'll go and have a look.
And Euphorbia, I've got quite a few in my garden, but the reason I bought the Merlot, the Miner's Merlot, is just because it's such an unusual colour.
Yeah.
It's like a really wonderful velvety chocolate colour, and that contrasted with the yellow is just superb. Very easy to grow as well, winter hardy, evergreen. I do the odd little bit of, just sometimes towards the... when it gets to sort of like February time, sometimes just a few little bits, if they've been really badly damaged by frost, I just trim off. But
yeah, there's a little bit at the back of that plant that just needs a little trim, but the rest of it looks fantastic. It grows quite quickly as well.
Yeah.
So that's the size of it in 1 year. I bought them, I got mine as a little one, like we're bringing you in the studio, and it's grown to that in 1 season. Very fast growing, but doesn't get massive. We're only talking 2 feet by 2 feet, and drought tolerant once it gets established as well. I've done very, very little to it. It's easy gardening.
I do remember they had a special feature on Euphorbia on Gardener's World a couple of years ago, and I thought, oh yeah, got to get some more of those. Just quickly, just want to show you the colour, because I've got the Fortinia, the Red Robin, and yeah, when you get lots of different colours in your garden, you probably want like a little bit of green with that as well, but... So, I've just put the viburnum there. I mean, that you can... And I just think different colours are so important in the garden, aren't they?
Well, this is why I love these darker coloured plants, you know, the burgundies, the rich chocolate colours, because when you mix those in with some brighter greens and other colouring, other brightly coloured flowers in your garden, it makes everything sort of pop and stand out. It is a standout plant. It was my top tip for last week. I'm so glad it was one of the favourites, and I hope that it continues to be that this week.
And you do get 3, and as you'll know, many garden designers, a lot of the top garden designers, they do say plant in 3s. Sorry, I just had this flashback. We do a plant sale every year at the pub.
Yeah.
And a lot of the plants are from YouGarden, actually.
Of course.
Yeah. But it's to raise money for our gardening club, and obviously we try and sell as much as possible. And there's a lady on the committee that's a really good salesperson. So she started off advising everyone to buy 3s of things, but then...
Does she need a job?
She doesn't actually, but she was like, oh, buy 3, 3s work really well, but by the end of the day she was like, oh, buy 5, 7s work great, 9s. But odd numbers do work very well for most of us, and to have 3 of those, they could look absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, definitely.
I love them. So I bought them last week. I just need to plant them. I nearly planted them yesterday, just ran out of time.
Yeah, I feel like I've only got 1 in my garden, you see. I do feel like maybe I need a couple of others.
Yeah, I think so. But yeah, one of the top sellers last week. You get all 3, and they are half price at the moment as well. We looked good then, didn't we, Bex?
Yeah, we did. I don't know if that happened for you, but certainly our screens went black. They might have gone black at home, but hopefully you can still see us. Stu is now working his magic frantically in the background. Oh my word, what happened? It'll come back, don't worry.
That gave me a flashback of the power cuts we had in the 1970s. Do you remember them? Or were you too young?
I was a baby.
You were too young. There are loads of power cuts in the 1970s, yeah, loads.
I was only...
You were I was
born in 78, Shaun, so...
Oh. You might not remember those, Bex, then. You might not remember those. I only vaguely remember them.
You were a babe.
Yeah, I was only about 1, but I do just sort of remember them. Right. So keep those messages coming in.
Yes, please.
Keep those orders coming in. Remember, free delivery when you spend over £40 today. And
loads of people sent us their pictures of their Miners Merlot last week.
They did, didn't they?
Because so many people are growing them. And so please, we love to see what you're growing in your garden. I know there's a few people, there's Penny and there's Amanda and a few other people that send me pictures via my Instagram and stuff. And I love seeing them. Please, just
you do know
don't
Bex is
stop.
stealing all your ideas, though, don't you?
I am.
Well, we both do that.
Always.
But I think gardening is about sharing, isn't it?
100%. We get inspiration from all these different places. So I love seeing what's going on in your gardens.
Yeah, same here. Right.
Right, we're coming back to the beginning.
Yes. Good morning, by the way. Hope you had a lovely Easter.
Did you had family round? Was it nice?
Do you know what? I managed to not eat too much chocolate as well.
Hey, well done.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I had a fair share, but
I had a couple of cream eggs, I'm not going to lie. Love a cream egg.
Yeah, I do. But anyway, I hope you had a lovely Easter. I hope you managed to get out in the garden. We had a couple of really nice sunny days here. But we're going to go back to where we started. The hibiscus, this is a stunning, stunning plant. You really can't go wrong with this one. Fully winter hardy. It's got the RHS Award of Garden Merit. That means it's a true performer. It means it is going to do really well pretty much any garden. It flowers late summer, so as Bex said earlier, when other things are kind of dying back a bit, things like maybe your lupins, your poppies, other perennials, this bursts into life. But don't worry. I mean, these are actually quite far ahead in terms of the foliage. But if your hibiscus some years doesn't get any green growth till the end of May, do not worry. They are one of the slow ones.
And this is one of the hardy varieties.
Yeah.
You might know hibiscus as being a very tender plant, one that can't go outside, that needs to be protected.
Are not winter hardy.
This one is winter hardy. You can plant this outside with no problems at all. Just make sure it's in a full sun position. It wants as much sun as possible. If you don't give it that, it won't give you the flowers, and that's what we want from our hibiscus.
They will tolerate pretty poor soils though as well.
Yeah.
My mum's is in a really kind of bad part of her border. The soil's very it's kind of full of rocks and grit and stuff like that, but it does great.
It does fine.
Yeah. But sun on that one. Really good price, $15.29 if you like.
That is a great price.
It's really good. Look at the size, yeah.
Mine's smaller than that.
Yeah.
So yeah, this one really is a good price. And do consider, if you are one of our newer viewers, we're getting lots of new viewers every week, do consider joining our club. You can see the details on the screen there. This is the price if you're not in the club, £16.99. If you join the club, that is the price that you will pay for this. You get a 10% discount on pretty much everything that you order from us.
And the club membership, I mean, a £5 for the year. That's an auto renewal, but obviously you can cancel at the end of the 12 months. But if you do go for auto renewal, that £5 membership is for life. So that means the price will never go up. We will only charge you £5 a year for life. Or you can go for the one-off membership, which is £10 just for the 12 months. But yeah, when you think 10% off every plant and all of our compost.
Those £20 of vouchers, that's what I love all of it, obviously, but £20 worth of vouchers that you get, and it comes out to you in your welcome pack. Yeah. It breaks down to £5 every 3 months.
Right, there's no minimum spend on those, is there?
I don't think so.
There was. I've still got a voucher to use, have you?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
I've always got a voucher.
Yeah.
Still seeing people getting plants for 90p because you're use your vouchers.
Yeah.
It's about getting the best prices. It really, really is. We talk about gardening for everyone and we've got stuff for everyone, but we're very much about making sure you get the best quality and the best prices.
And don't forget, with every order, you are getting your fantastic heavy-duty bag.
How many litres was this? I remember looking and I've completely forgotten. 35?
I think it is 35, isn't it?
45. 45
Oh, it is.
capacity.
It's even bigger. We do the 30-litre heavy-duty pots. You've actually got an extra 50% capacity in here. So if you're growing potatoes, you actually can grow more potatoes in here, and I've even had fruit trees growing in these as well.
Yeah, I think they're really, really handy for a variety of different reasons. And let's face it, it's absolutely free when you place an order today. You don't need the item code, ignore that. You don't need to place the code in. All you have to do when you place an order is use the offer code in the little box where it says, do you have an offer code? Yes, you do. That's the one you enter in. That will then magically appear in your basket. I'm sure we'll do a basket example for you at some point during the show.
They are really useful.
Really useful.
I even sometimes use them for carrying plants around in.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Yeah, like if you're transporting anything in the back of your car or anything, it's great to put them in there.
But great for recycling, great for shopping. I mean, I know you can buy a carry bag that maybe looks a bit pretty, but it will not be as strong as this. Yeah, they are really... Do you know what? Should we try and rip the handles?
Oh, my word.
We haven't rehearsed this, by the way. But I think they're really hard to rip the handle. Look at that. I mean, we're putting a lot of tension on that, aren't we? Look at that. Hey? Yeah. That's got, you know, I'm about... Actually,
I'm 9 stone.
I've lost a bit of weight.
I'm 9 stone.
I'm 79 kilos. My weight starts with a 7.
You're not.
Yeah.
Are you?
Is that light?
That's amazing.
I was 83.
You've done very well.
That was after Christmas.
Stu, you weigh less than me.
Anyway, we had two people pulling at the handles that are the normal weight, and it was really strong. You could see that. But do get the hibiscus. Right, we're going to move on to this.
Right, I love.
I've never grown one of these.
I don't know, and I don't know why I haven't either, because this is absolutely beautiful.
And you were saying the buds look like pearls, and you're so
well,
right.
this plant is known as, so its common name is the pearl bush.
Yeah.
Obviously, normal name, Exocordia racemosa niagara, but it's also known as...
Well said, Bex.
The pearl bush. And this is exactly why, because as these buds appear, they do look like, as you said, mini polished pearls.
Yeah.
They're stunning. And you get those buds and then the beautiful flowers that are opening on there
as well.
And I like
sometimes the simplicity of a flower like that is just gorgeous, and that is the 5 petals, and it's a lovely kind of aged white. There's a very famous paint company that do a lovely aged white, and it's like that. But you get masses of these, don't you?
So many of these flowers, and you can see, I mean, from the pictures that we're showing you of a more established one, amazing. But even on the one that you will be receiving, or similar to the one you'll be receiving, you can see how many buds are on here. This is going to be covered, and this is just the most gorgeous addition to your spring garden, because this is when it's in flower into April, into May. This is going to be just a cloud of those beautiful white flowers.
So imagine this could really work lovely alongside things like your forsythia, your ceanothus.
Oh, yes.
You know, so you've got the blues, the yellows. It's lovely, isn't it?
It really is beautiful. It's drought tolerant once it gets established as well. So if you are, you know, environmentally conscious and you're trying to make your garden filled with things that don't need all that water, this one, once it gets established, drought tolerant, brilliant. Really easy to look after, doesn't get out of control either, doesn't get massive. So for smaller gardens, smaller spaces in your borders, this is going to work beautifully. Full height, we're talking maybe 1.5 meters, and the same with spread. It'll take a few years to get there.
Definitely going to buy one of those.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Love it, absolutely love it.
You can find room. I don't know if I can find room. I want to find room though, because it's gorgeous.
I can always find room. But you know, we all try and get as much colour in our garden for as many months as possible, and that looks really good right now in April. Just as maybe some of your bulbs are dying back, maybe your daffs have gone over now and things like that. But it is absolutely stunning.
That, next to your euphorbia,
hey, your tulips are looking really good.
They look amazing,
don't they? I'm just thinking, imagine if that was like next to your tulips. Yeah. Anyway, better move on. Good morning to everybody, by the way.
Morning.
My name's Shaun, by the way, if you're thinking...
Who the heck is this guy? Who's this beardy man telling me about all the plants?
Beardy man.
This is Shaun Ryan, the man off the telly.
And this is Bex Edwards, the lovely girl off the telly. But together, we really do love being in the potting shed. We have got really wonderful kind of core audience that tune in every week, but we are getting lots of new viewers as well. But Philip's there, and Bill, and Elaine, all of our regulars. Right though, the best-selling product here at YouGarden, and bear in mind we are live right now in our 11-acre nursery. Outside there are tens of thousands of plants and lots of lovely people packing those plants right now and making sure they arrive to you in premium condition. Lots of people looking after the plants, watering and feeding. How many orders did leave the warehouse this morning? Do we know? We just have a look.
He's loading it. Stu's got all the info.
He has.
He's got buttons.
So I'm just going to be drinking, you don't mind it?
No, not at all. You carry on while Stu looks. 3,500 orders have been sent today so far. So far.
And it's only what? 20 to 11?
20 to 11.
So they started at 7:30. About 1,000 orders going out an hour right now. It's a very efficient company, headed up by our head gardener, Peter McDermott. He's the one that keeps his eye on all those plants, every single one.
Keeps his eye on us as well.
He should go on holiday. He never goes on holiday, our Peter. He really needs a holiday, I think.
He needs a holiday.
He does. But yeah, he's always there. Keeping his eye on every single plant of the nursery. Right, the best-selling product though on our nursery is our premium professional compost. Every hanging basket that's made up, every bare root that's planted up, every plant that's repotted in this compost.
Absolutely, and that is because it is the most special formulation. Our head gardener has had a massive hand in making this the amazing compost that it is. It has been formulated by specialists, people that really do know what they're talking about when it comes to the health of our plants, what they need, how they're going to grow, how they're going to form really strong root structures, and everything that you need is in this compost. There are 2 composts that you need, this or an ericaceous compost. We have both of those available for you. You do not need to get confused going to the garden centre and looking at the rows and rows and this number and that number and this has got special added this and that's got special added that. You don't need them. There's 2 composts you need, and this one is the one that's going to work for the majority of the things that you're planting in your garden, also in your home as well. I've recently repotted my dragon tree. It's looking a bit sad at the moment. I don't think it liked being repotted, but it's going to be fine. But yeah, indoor plants, outdoor plants, seeds through to trees, everything in between. This is going to make the difference. My dragon tree is in here and it's going to love it.
And we do not claim to be the cheapest, but actually our value is really good, particularly if you're a club member, because you get £2.50 off every single purchase of your compost. Your free gift is worth £4.99 today.
Yeah.
So actually, when you look at the value, you take off, maybe if you're a club member, then you take off the value of your free gift. It actually makes the compost round about £17. Just under actually.
Which makes it really
for
competitive.
100, and that's 100 litres as well.
Yeah.
So we better quickly run through what's in there.
Go for it.
Right, 50% is composted wood fibre. And actually, when you feel this, the fibrous nature is incredible. It's soft. It's soft. It's really well composted. You don't get any lumps, twigs, or anything like that. And that means the roots can really access all of the nutrients and the oxygen and the water very, very effectively. There are 3 different types of peat in here as well. Light and dark peat. Some of those, like the sphagnum moss peat, are replenishable as well, but we only put the minimum amount of peat in to give the maximum results. Right, I just saw some of your green balls.
Yeah, sounds so rude. There are lots of little green balls inside this compost. Now that is a slow release fertiliser. There's loads of them sort of evenly distributed through here. Really important your plants can get hold of their feed as and when they need it. Of course we are going to feed. In fact, I did my first feed the other day. I went out and did it all. Good on you. So I did my little first water feed. But plants being able to get hold of that food, particularly when they're young and new, you know, it's really important that they can get hold of it, and that is included in there. And actually,
particularly when plants are in a pot as well, obviously they haven't got access to lots and lots of extra nutrients, so really important for all of your pots as well.
We've got a pH buffer in here, which sounds all technical, but basically it just puts the acidity levels of the soil or the pH levels of the soil in exactly the right place for the majority of your plants to live in. The exceptions would be your rhododendrons? I'll just make up names.
Yeah,
Camellias,
you know what Bex means.
Blueberries, they need ericaceous compost, and we have that on the website.
And the one thing that I am going to just add to this is it also has a wetting agent. That's really good, because I make up about between 25 and 35 hanging baskets every year, because me and my dad own a pub, and I do all the hanging baskets for the pub, and it's really important they look good. If the baskets look bad, the customers don't come in. There's a bit of truth in that.
There is. It's all about curb appeal.
It is. So what this does, if a hanging basket dries out, and they can dry out very easily, as you know, when you water it, sometimes all the water pours over the side, and it's really annoying. This makes that water stick to the compost.
Yeah.
So they rehydrate really quickly as well. It's brilliant. And all I can say is if you've never tried it, then please try it for the first time today. If you are a regular, today is a brilliant time to actually stock up on it, especially that brilliant free gift. What I would do, I'm just telling you how to milk the system here, I'd actually place potentially a separate order of compost, because you're going to get your fantastic 45 litre heavy duty bag. I would, because these are really useful. These are brilliant. And you get one of those free with every separate order. So already popular today, the Evergreen collection. These are amazing value. You're going to get all sorts in here. You might get choice here. You might get things like your red robin, your viburnum that we're looking at right now, it might be ceanothus, all sorts, but they will all have one thing in common, and that's that they're evergreen. So they will look good all year around. And there's a choice here there, you can see. So it's all about really just bringing you what looks good right now. So we'll give you 6 9cm pots. They are working out just a couple of pounds each, just over a couple of pounds each, which is absolutely incredible. Also, you are loving the Bollywood. This is rather spectacular, isn't it, Bex?
It really is, because you get all those luscious, beautiful, again, exotic-looking flowers. They look like... They don't look real. Whenever I look at a rhododendron, I think they're fake. They're fake flowers.
I know
But
what you
they're
mean.
not. They're beautiful.
Yeah.
But the added interest you get with the Bollywood is that beautiful variegation on the leaves as well. And in most places, those leaves are going to be there all year round. You know, it is evergreen or semi-evergreen, depending on where you live. But pretty much majority of places, those leaves will be there all year round.
I love that. So I need to add that to my Ericaceous collection.
Beautiful.
And then also really popular, I bought these last week. It is the Miner's Merla, the Euphorbia. Euphorbia is a wonderful plant, you know. Again, evergreen. I love the structure of them. They grow naturally really well.
Yeah, lovely mounded shape.
Yeah.
They don't need any pruning to shape particularly. They're so easy.
And I do think they look good grouped together. You've got lots of different colours of Euphorbia. These really stand out with it being this lovely kind of chocolatey, velvety, burgundy colour. And you do get yellow flowers. Bex has got one of these in her garden. It's in flower right now, looking absolutely stunning. There it is.
There it is. Look at that.
The Bex Merla, that is.
It's beautiful.
Bex Merla.
Honestly, it's one of my favourite plants in the garden. I'd probably say that about everything, but it genuinely is. Right now, it is looking fan-flippin-tastic.
Yeah. And they are one of the early flowers, so they really add colour. Oh, and actually, you've also loved, we are delighted about
we knew you'd love this one.
The Exocorda, the pearl bush, as you were saying, it's commonly known. How tall does it grow? We know the answer to this one.
Yeah, probably somewhere between 1 metre and 2 metres. I think about 1.5 metres is where it's going to get to be honest with you. It'll take a few years to get there. It's not particularly fast growing, nice and compact, perfect for going into, particularly if you've got a smaller garden, but even in big gardens, in mixed borders, that is going to be stand out. Particularly, I think, if you planted that next to something like a Photinia. You know, when you've got the lovely, luscious red growth of the Photinia and that next to it, because it'll be at the same time.
White makes everything else pop out, doesn't it?
It does.
But that's amazing. Yeah, I'm going to go for that. Elaine's already got that in her basket.
Well done, Elaine.
Yes, that's one of my choices today as well.
We've got to go visit Elaine's garden, honestly.
We have. And then also, I'm so pleased that so many of you are going for this hibiscus. I mean, this is a really nice, big, established plant. It's already in a 19cm pot. You got 1/3 of the price off there, so an £8 saving. Really easy to grow. You just need sunshine. You need well-drained soil, but it can be quite poor soil, and that is pretty much it. It is late flowering, so it will only start to flower towards the back end of summer. But as Bex said earlier, that's a great time to flower when other things are maybe dying back and looking a little bit sad in your garden. And I know sometimes we think of hibiscus as being a Mediterranean plant. You look at that and think, can it grow in the UK? But there are different varieties. That one is fully winter hardy. It's got the Ward of Garden Merit from the RHS as well. But I love that one. My mum's gardened all her life, but she only bought hibiscus about 3 years ago.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but she absolutely loves them.
I think they're exotic, that's
They
why.
are, and they're
lovely
easy.
transitional plant, gets you through from summer to autumn,
Yeah.
still got flowers on there, it's really beautiful.
But well done, I know that's proven really popular. I tell you what would be nice, a little bit of feedback about the free gift. Have you already got these? Do you use them? What are you going to use it for? So yeah, that'd be great. But they are great. These are grow bags. We often sell potato kits. In fact, we've got one on the show where you actually can grow your potato seeds in here.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I did last year. I grew my potatoes in the grow bags, and it was perfect. It was a really good way of doing it.
And compared to the 30-litre heavy-duty pots, which we both love, but they're smaller, they're 30 litres.
Yeah,
so you actually
these
get
are
more
45.
potatoes. Yeah, it's like
Crazy,
50%
right?
more. Yeah. So anyway, that is free, worth £4.99 with every order. You just need to use the offer code, which is YGTV1424. Right. How many bulbs?
300!
No!
When do we want them? Now! Yeah, these are your
300.
summer flowering bulb collection. You're going to get 300 of these bulbs included in here. So this really does represent amazing value for money. Isn't it 4p a bulb? 4p a bulb. And these will come back for you. Excuse me, they will come back for you every single year. They are perennial. They are going to flower for many, many months. I think a couple of these you are going to need to get in the ground pretty quick.
Yeah, like the alliums.
So the alliums are going to be the earliest flowering. You get 75 of the yellow, the molly. You get 35 of the neapolitanum, the white ones. Now, they normally flower May, June time, so you definitely want to get those in the ground pretty quick.
So you've got your alliums here.
And on the other side.
And the alliums over there. So molly and neapolitanum.
And then what we're getting is the Brody ear. So they're also known as cluster lilies. You get 75 of those. They normally flower around June and July time, only getting up to about 30 centimetres in height. So wonderful at the front of borders. We've got gladioli included in there as well. 10 of those. Absolutely stunning. Plant those together. They'll be lonely if you plant them, you know, individual bulbs. Put all 10 together. Lovely sweet shop confection of colours, we call those. We've got the Liatris spicata. Now these I think are some of the most unusual ones.
No, I've never grown these, but I have just planted some of these bulbs. I can't wait, because they can go really quite tall as well, can't they?
About a metre in height.
Yeah.
What I like is how they open from the top down, as you can see in the picture there. The flowers actually open from the top down. A lot open from the bottom up, but these were from the top down. Ooh. 40 of those. You also get 20 of the freesias.
Just at the bottom here. Now, freesias, it's all about the fragrance,
Fragrance. 20 of those included, and they're going to flower, you know, in the summer, height of summer, around August time. And then we've got the Axodanthera. No, down this side.
Also down here,
side,
there we are.
I think plant the Axodanthera and the Liatris spicata together because
similar heights, I guess.
They're similar heights. Liatris and Axodanthera, hopefully they'll slightly overlap. I think the Liatris will probably come out first, and then the Axodanthera will come out. But I think the colour combination, the shapes, the height, those will be a great combination. I
mean, that is just amazing value, isn't it? I mean, it's incredible.
4p a bulb, and every year, so they'll come back for you. They'll come back for you. They're perennial. You know, they'll naturalise. They'll multiply. I mean, it's just the colour, the fragrance, the height difference. It's incredible.
And if you think, oh, that's too many, just do some pots as well. You could do some amazing pots, and you might decide to do all the allium molly in just pots, and have big pots full of yellow. You may decide to, I mean, I think freesias really lend themselves to pots.
Yeah.
Because they're quite delicate looking, but 300 bulbs, 4p a bulb, giving you colour from kind of like the end of May all the way through to September and October. And as Bex said, they should come out year after year after year. The only thing I would say, a few of them are maybe ever so slightly tender, like freesias, gladioli. So if it was a really wet, cold winter, you might want to, or you live somewhere that, you know, particularly far north, you might want to lift a few of them. But generally speaking, they should come back year after year.
Absolutely. And if we all, and I say this and I don't do it myself, it's something that I need to start doing, but if we all got into the habit of mulching just everything.
Yeah.
You know, it's a really good habit to get into. You know, it just gives them that extra winter protection, but it also helps during the summer as well because it helps to retain moisture, stops weeds growing through. So it's a really good habit to get into.
When I was weeding yesterday, I thought I really need to buy some straws.
Get some straws.
Yeah, I've got like a whole border. It was so covered in weeds. So if you want some straws, it is on the show. Seriously, I'm thinking of doing a whole border with straws just because it's just so prone to weeds.
Absolutely.
But we are doing a twin pack of that. Now, not only is straw great at suppressing weeds, it's a brilliant deterrent for slugs and snails. It doesn't kill them, it just gets them to move away from your plants, basically.
It's a nice environmentally friendly way. It's eco-friendly. There's no pellets, no poisons. It just gets them to move on.
Also, I mean, after it's done its job, after a couple of years, you can just dig it into your ground. It really helps give great structure to your soil as well. And as Bex said, it does retain moisture, so if it's going to be a really hot, dry summer, when you've got straws around plants, it really does help protect them from drying out. So great if you've got things like raspberries, for example, be absolutely brilliant. However, so came to work today and all the plants were outside because we are right in the middle of the nursery, and I saw this beauty. And Bex said, oh, that's mine. You planted this last year?
I planted it last year, but I'm racking my brain because I cannot remember what size it was when I got it. I can't remember. But anyway, I planted it last year. It's in one of our heavy duty pots. I literally picked it up outside my back garden this morning and put it into the car to bring you so that you can see what this is going to look like. Now, I mean, I'm less than a year in, or approximately a year ago, I planted this. Look at that beautiful blossom.
I mean, it's absolutely and that contrasted with the leaves that are still like that kind of like bronzy green colour.
Gorgeous.
I mean, everyone's commented on it today. It was like, oh, I love that. Now, the one that you'll get, because you don't get that one, that belongs to Bex.
Yeah, sorry, that's mine.
But the one you get is actually still a really good size.
Yeah.
So it comes in the 13 centimetre pot, the 1 litre pot there. So it's a really good size already. But this one doesn't grow big, does it?
No, I mean, it's going to take a while to get there. It can get to maybe 1.5 metres in height, but it's going to take many, many years to get there. And obviously, if you compare that to apple trees, then obviously, you know...
It's really petite, isn't
it?
it?
It's really, really petite.
Yeah.
But you also get lovely small red apples on here as well. And I bought this because I think the kids are going to be... I mean, I'm dead excited about it as well. But I think the kids will get really excited about these little apples that are going to appear on here. Lovely red skin that you get on here. The blossom is breathtaking as well. That's a cherry next to the appletini.
So it gives you an idea. And I think you're so right there. Sometimes to try and persuade children to eat fruit, if it's a massive apple, they're a bit overwhelmed. Or actually, sort of like my mum. My mum's like, you know, very elderly now. So all food over faces her. That's her. Mum, do you want a cherry tomato? That's going to overface me. But no, sometimes a small apple, it's just a lot easier to eat and to hold and things like that. Hey, I've had a thought, Bex.
What?
When you're picking your apples.
Oh yeah, they can go in there.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. I mean,
totally.
Doesn't that make sense when you're picking your fruit?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Alison, good morning, Alison.
Good morning, Alison.
So I did say, who's got these? What do you use them for? Alison's got loads of them. And what does she's grown apple trees, potatoes in them.
Potatoes. She uses them to take things to the tip.
Yeah, recycle.
Which is great. You put it all in the back of the car, in the bags.
I mean, these. Do you know what? I'm so silly because I use mine a lot for gardening, but I really should use them when we are taking things to the tip. And, I mean, I've got loads of clothes that I need to take to the charity shop.
Whack them in those bags,
yeah.
absolutely.
But they never. It's really pretty much impossible to break one of these. I mean, they're so well made.
They're very well made. The stitching is great.
Yeah.
Obviously, the material they're made from is really hard wearing as well. They will last you for a long time, and they can be used for so many different things. Yeah. And they're free.
Yeah,
it's free today. If you put the code in, that one down there. If you put the code in when you place the order, we'll put that into your basket for you.
Do you know, we thought today would be really busy because I'll be honest. Sometimes the free gift does make a difference.
It does, yeah.
And a lot of you really like this. Some of you have got them already and you're just going for more. You get one free with every separate order, but you do need to use the code YGTV 1424. Really handy. They're brilliant. Really are.
It'd be a shopping bag.
Yeah.
If you're going to buy in, a few bottles of wine that's heavy. That's a really sturdy bag to put them in. I'm looking at you when I say that, Shaun.
I'd get loads of bottles of wine in there, wouldn't I? No, but the garden club that I run, we often, there's loads of things we have to take to each meeting. Refreshments and things like that, and plants and all sorts. But they're brilliant, just for...
Absolutely excellent.
Yeah.
Take the bottles of wine with you and bring the recycling when you leave. That's what Stu's saying.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Anyway, really great free gift. There's so many benefits of buying from the TV show. There really is.
Yeah, it really is.
But I like the appletini. I think it's gorgeous.
I'm super excited about it. I think I'm going to get fruits this year, so I'm really, really excited about that. Lovely, small, beautiful crops of these little red fruits. Loads of that gorgeous blossom as well. And I do think that blossom is really, really pretty. It is also self-fertile as well. So just in case you're wondering, you don't have to worry about that.
Right, the strush is proving popular. You know what? Let's be honest. It's been really wet. And when it's wet, the slugs and snails, they thrive, don't they? Now, this strush, it doesn't kill the slugs and snails, it gets them to just move away. And things like hostas, like my hostas are just coming through right now. And actually, when hostas are first coming through, after sleeping in the winter, God, that's when the slugs are that fresh green foliage. Oh, those slugs love them.
All you can eat buffet.
Yeah, it's true, isn't it?
It is.
Elaine just said she just literally put strush around her hostas and not a nibble. to be seen.
I need to check, see if my hostas are coming up, actually.
Right, now look, we love to be totally honest and transparent. So we're going to move on to our pond collection, and it was really funny, we both said today, Bex said to me, one of the first you said, do you know much about pond plants? I was like, not a lot. I said, made some notes. So look, neither, we're both like, so we're just being really honest. Neither of us have ever had a pond. I want to have a pond, and I've got room for a pond, but it's quite a big job, so I haven't got round to it. I do intend to have a pond. Funny enough, Craig, who you never see, we wanted him to come on camera, but he won't.
He won't, he refused.
Craig basically he picks all the plants for the shows. So he's in charge of getting all the plants from the nursery, making sure they've got the right plants, the right boards. But he's got a pond, and the one thing he said to us, he said the value that we've got, because he's bought quite a few plants for his pond in the past. He said to get 6 pond plants at this price is incredible.
He did say that pond plants can be quite expensive.
Yeah, and to be honest, YouGarden is one of their recent things that we've been sort of like expanding in. So you've got 6 pond plants. The one thing he did say to us, he said, look, normal things apply. So you put them in you need the right pots and the right gravel to sink them. But he said they're actually very easy to grow. But we're going to read out what we've got. Yeah. We're going to try. You first.
We've got the Calla palustris, which is known as bog arum. It's a marginal pond plant. It's got arum-like flowers, glossy leaves, and a sprawling habit. It's excellent for disguising pond edges. It's a hardy perennial, grows to about 25 centimetres high, and will spread to about 2 feet.
And then I've got the Pontideria cottada, which is known as the pickerel weed. Yes. And that's got the AGM, that's got the Award of Garden Merit. And that's a marginal pond plant that gets lovely bright green leaves and small tubular deep blue flowers. I like the sound of that.
Lovely.
Yeah, you can see them there, just at the bottom. And that one would grow to about 60 centimetres. That looks really nice, doesn't it?
Pretty, isn't it, for sure. Then we've got the Typha latifolia, or bulrush. We all know bulrush, don't we?
Well, that's what you see that, don't
Totally.
you? There's a lot of those around here, actually.
Yeah, there will be. So another marginal shallow water plant. It's going to thrive in up to 1 metre deep of water, and it can grow tall. This one's a nice tall one. It can grow to anywhere between 1.5 metres and 3 metres tall. Then
we've got the Caltha palustris we're going to go for, but I like this one. The common name is marsh marigold, and I mean you know instantly which one that is, don't you? Yeah,
it's going to be this one.
It's got to be. It's got the RHS plants for pollinators, and that's lovely on the pond edge. You get the rich leaves, but you get the clusters of deep yellow flowers. The moment I read marigold, I was like, oh, it's got to be that one, and it is. Yeah.
I'm going to talk about. I'm going to go Eriphorum augustifolium, also known as the common cotton grass. This one is a marginal perennial, only up to about 5 centimetre depth though with the water. Has tufts of dark green linear leaves and white hairy flower heads in summer. That's incredible. Love that one. That's super pretty, isn't it?
I'm just thinking the value there.
Yeah.
Because pond plants are expensive, is incredible. So if you've already got a pond and you're looking for some extra plants, fantastic. You might even be thinking of putting a pond in this year. I mean, I'd love a pond, wouldn't you?
I would, yeah. I mean, I do not have the space.
No.
I'd love to, but I don't have the space. I'll have to move home.
See, I think we've got the space in our garden. It's just quite a big job. But
yeah, my kids are old enough now. Like, I wouldn't be worried about the kids, you know, so that'd be fine. I just don't have the space.
But it would be nice. I say we've just been totally honest. Pond plants is not our speciality, but let us know what you think of this. You've got a pond, or if you grow near them, or you've got some. We'd love to see some of these in your garden.
Yeah,
or
totally.
If you're ordering, let us know. Have you just literally built a pond? And we've already had orders go through. So those of you that have ordered, let us know, because all we know is the value is amazing.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and it's I think that's a nicely curated collection, because if you look at the different colours, there was lots of different colours in there, wasn't there? There was like
there's
the blues,
loads of colours.
Whites,
you've got the
yellows.
Ones that are sprawling, the ones that are tall. You've got some that go slightly deeper, some that go slightly shorter. I think it has. I mean, I know some thought and care has been put into putting the right plants in there, so you get a good mixture.
You could see that, couldn't you? Yeah. When we talked through and you saw the images, that's going to give a lot of variety in your pond. So yeah, I'm glad that a few orders have gone for those.
That's something a bit different. I like that. Gardening for everyone.
Yes. And when I've got a pond, I think it'd be a next year job.
Yeah.
I'll let you know how I get on with those.
I'll come and dig a hole. I like digging holes. Give me a shovel, I'll help dig.
Right, let's remind you of what's been popular already here on YouGarden TV this morning. And good morning to each and every one of you. Right, we are so pleased you've loved the Exocorda, the pole bush as it's nicknamed. You've fallen in love with it, we have too. This time of year, April time, early, I was going to say early summer, we're not quite there, but April time it bursts into these magnificent flowers. Doesn't get too big, we said an average about 1.5 meters or so, relatively compact and slow growing, but the flowers are absolutely gorgeous.
I just love how many flowers there are. You know, just combine that with something where it'll stand out. I've just instantly got a photinia in my head. You know, put a photinia near it, the red of the photinia, the white of the flowers, they're just going to look beautiful. And because it's spring, you'll get those colour mixes going on at the same time. Absolutely perfect.
I just think it's a very tasteful looking plant.
Very, yeah.
So
known as the pearl bush because you can see those lovely little buds that are coming through. They look like little polished pearls.
But it's been really popular, really good size on that one as well for $19.99. Then also you've fallen in love with the hibiscus. Now this variety has got the AGM, the Award of Garden Merits from the NHS. So that's an amazing award to get, and you only achieve that award through rigorous testing, and it basically means this plant will really perform extraordinarily well in pretty much all gardens in the UK. Just needs lots of sunshine, not too fussed about its soil type, and it will flower late summer, which is it's one of the wonderful things about this. A lot of your perennials have often gone over when we start heading into kind of August time, haven't they?
Yeah.
My lupins have often gone, my poppies.
This is why I added hibiscus into my garden because we've got to think about transitioning those seasons. It's beautiful, it's exotic, but it does go over into the autumn. I remember seeing one just around the corner from where I live. They got it out in their front garden, and I was walking around in October, and it was in full bloom at its most beautiful. So it's a really good one.
But really popular, and you should get lots of flowers this year.
Yeah, I'd have thought so. It's a nice established size.
And only $15.29 if you are one of our club members. Then we've just brought back, now we've not seen this for ages, have we?
Love it. It was always very popular. I mean, I remember bringing it when we were on our previous shopping channel last year. It was straight out again. We didn't get to talk about it very much because it was so very popular. It's just a firm favourite. We all know the Doris, the 70-year-old variety. This has been named in its honour, but it's just a baby version. It's a baby Doris.
Yeah. So one of my friends is called Doris, bless her. She's an elderly lady that lives near me, and I always think of her.
Yeah, it's lovely.
She's not a baby though, she's 83. 401388 for the Dianthus. And they flower year after year. They're evergreen, they're easy. And I love my summer bedding, but you've got to replace it every year, not with the Dianthus. So great value. Also popular today, our evergreen shrub collection. Now you are going to get a mixture of these, and depending on when you buy them, but they'll all be looking great right now. So things like your viburnum, you might get choicea, you get 6 named varieties, they'll all be different. There's a unanimous in our collection today. What else did we have over there?
Choicea, unanimous, viburnum. I mean, there might
be ceanothus potentially.
The
yeah, there's a choicea that we're looking at right now.
Yeah, so they're beautiful.
But they'll all be 100% evergreen and great for the centre of tubs and things like that. But I always think it's important to have greenery in your garden all year round. So you might even get a ceanothus or something like that. They come in 9 centimetre pots, and they're working out just over a couple of pounds each. Right, the pond collection has been popular. I'm so envious. Who's got ponds?
Yeah.
Maybe it's been that wet that you've suddenly got a pond. But yeah, Malcolm's just said, why not just bury a bowl and have a small pond? You can do, can't you? It's very easy to make a small pond, isn't it?
To be honest, you can, and I've definitely got space to do that. You can do it. You don't need a tiny little space, don't you? Yeah. Get the toads coming into your garden. It's nice. It's great at inviting wildlife in. It's wonderful.
I love water, so I am going to have a pond in my garden, just haven't got round to it.
My mum and dad used to have, I mean, they had 2 big ones, and they had massive, great big koi. I mean, it was beautiful. They had a really deep one, and it was gorgeous. My bedroom was at the back, and so I would always sleep with the window open because you just had that sound of running water, and it was so calming and relaxing, and I loved it. Cool.
But you've got lots of different colours and varieties there. $19.99. You're actually saving £15 today, and thank you to those of you that have already placed an order. $565.59. Right, now last week we were both so disappointed the Calibrachoa Million Bells wasn't ready, so we didn't have it on the show. It's grown a lot in a week, so it's ready right now, and it's 12 plug plants in 6 gorgeous colours. And I think one of the areas that I know particularly well is bedding plants, because I've spent many decades with bedding plants, doing hanging baskets, containers for pubs and locally, and obviously my garden as well. But these are just gorgeous. These are mini petunias. Mini petunias,
yeah, they're bright, they're bold, they're beautiful, they're reliable, they're vigorous, they're weatherproof. You know, you cannot go wrong, can you, with Calibrachoa?
I don't think so.
They're gorgeous, and you're getting a mixture of those colours in there as well. 6 different colours, is that?
Yeah.
So you're going to get 2 of each. They are labelled, by the way, so you know which colours are which, so just in case you do want to colour coordinate.
Yeah, so you might want to put like the hot colours together and the cooler colours together, but they repeat flower, they gently trail. I just think they're a little bit prettier than some of the other petunia varieties out there. Smaller flowers, but I think you get a lot more of them as well.
Yeah.
They do like a lot of sun, the Calibrachoa.
They do, and I would suggest, you know, I would grow them on a little bit before planting them out. They don't want to go straight out right now. Just grow them on a little bit, and then you want to harden them off before you put them outside.
And they need to get frost-free, of course, as well. So when you first get them home, they may need a little drink. So imagine they will have been in transit for a couple of days.
In the dark.
Yes.
They'll be thirsty. They'll need some light.
Yeah, so what I would do is, take them out, put them in a bowl of water. Don't leave them in there too long. They won't need it, about half an hour or so. But the only thing is, don't forget, if you take them out and put them all in a bowl, make sure you know which colour's which, because they'll all be labelled in there.
Yeah, I mean,
sometimes I've just been too keen. I've gone, oh, right, let's take them all out and put them in.
You don't always have to. You can't, because the mini greenhouses, they are open at the sides. So when that's shut, look, you can still you can just submerge that into a bucket. And that's what we do here sometimes, when they need a little drink. So you don't have to take them all out. You can, obviously, if you want to.
I just always do, that's my way. But you're right, Bex, you don't have to.
If you want to make sure that you don't mix them up and lose the colours, you can do that, and the water will get in through the sides of the greenhouse.
And then just pot those up, 9 centimetres apart, keep them frost-free, in greenhouse, windowsill. Not everyone's got a greenhouse. To be honest, it depends on where you live, but I mean, I've looked at the weather forecast and it's actually quite warm on a night at the moment.
Yeah.
It's only dipping down to about 5 or 6 degrees.
They can take a tiny bit of frost, but they don't want prolonged periods. No. If it was a little bit of frost one night, it'd probably be fine, but I would just grow them on a windowsill in your greenhouse and just wait for all that frost to pass. You all know, you've been gardening
and
for
they
years.
Will just tumble and delight you all summer long.
Right the way through, like June, July, August, September, October, a little bit of deadheading. I love deadheading petunias and Calibrachoa. It's one of my I don't know why, I just really enjoy it.
Bex loves all the boring jobs like deadheading and weeding.
I like weeding. No. Like I genuinely love weeding.
I must admit, I did enjoy weeding yesterday. It was
so
like
nice.
It was like the before and after.
That's the thing. So you get this, it's lovely, it's repetitive, and you're there and you're digging it all out, and then at the end you stand back and you go, I did that. I love weeding.
Yeah.
Get me to come round to your house. I'll do the weeding.
There you go.
I'll be happy to come and weed. It's
$5
my
an hour.
Jobs.
That's good, isn't it? $5 an hour for weeding.
I'd probably do it for free. I'm more than happy.
Oh, even better.
Love
but if you want to go for those, they've just come in. They're only $14.98. You get 12. They are glorious. Make sure you give them a good feed weekly, at least during the summer months with our blooming fast.
Yeah.
Because they are quite hungry little things. So do make sure you give them a good feed. But they're amazing, and they look great in pots and hanging baskets. Right. We're going to move on to eucalyptus, but a very special eucalyptus.
Yeah.
Now I've got eucalyptus in my garden. It is absolutely huge, Bex. I'll be honest, it really, really is a bit too big. I like it, but it's too big. This one is a smaller variety.
Yeah, this stays nice and compact, so...
Smells great, doesn't it?
Oh, my word, I love that smell. The eucalyptus smell is just divine, isn't it? It's so beautiful. So this is only ever going to reach somewhere between 3 and 4 metres at maturity, which is going to take many years to get there. But if you think about how big eucalyptus can grow...
that's small.
Yeah, that's tiny. Eucalyptus can get to 10, 12 metres. This one is going to stay nice and compact. A lot of people cannot have eucalyptus in their garden because it gets too big. I certainly couldn't plant a great big eucalyptus tree. But this...
Your neighbours would not be happy.
Absolutely. It's evergreen as well.
Well, Bex, I'm going to stop you there.
Sorry.
And I'll tell you why.
I know. Dave the plant man was here, wasn't he?
He was. I don't want to steal his thunder because we had a lovely special guest in the nursery and the potting shed a few weeks ago. He's known as Dave the Plant Man, and many of you will follow him. And he's a guy from Wigan, right down to earth, tells it as it is, but very, very knowledgeable. And we actually, he saw this on the nursery, was like, oh, I want to talk about that. So we have filmed him. We will be honest, there's a bit of noise in the background because for some reason, the RAF were around and these planes are... but I'm sure you'll be able to hear Dave. So here he is from the other week on the nursery to tell you a bit more about this incredible eucalyptus. So we're here at the YouGarden nursery. It's a busy day, lots going on, a bit of noise in the background. We don't care because we've found this gorgeous eucalyptus. Bit different, this one, isn't it, Dave? This is Dave the Plant Man, by the way.
Oh, you do? Right, this is Eucalyptus gunnii azura. What's different about azura is it's a lot hardier than normal Eucalyptus gunnii. It says it's hardy down to -20. So if you struggle growing Eucalyptus gunnii, the normal one, in Scotland or some of the more exposed places, this is a better one for the UK climate. Now the other thing about it, it's more compact. It has a lot more shoots on it than a normal Eucalyptus gunnii. You find that gunnii tends to just put 3 or 4 shoots on, where this is really busy. Now, if you want to keep these little what we call penny foliage, you keep trimming it as a bush, and you can actually cut those penny foliage and use them in flower arranging.
Yeah, and they look lovely, don't they?
Or you can even trim this one into almost a ball, because it's such a compact plant.
It's a beautiful colour, isn't it?
Near a jet.
Oh, it's all happening here.
We're getting everything.
But I love the fact, super hardy, -20, and very easy to grow.
Very easy to grow.
I'm waiting for it, Dave.
Interesting fact.
So I've just realised, Bex, I'm wearing exactly the same outfit.
Well, I mean, we do wear... I rotate the same, like, 3 jumpers, so...
It's not a fashion show, by the way.
It's not. We're in the potting
If you're really into fashion and not really into gardening, this is not the show for you. You're not going to get loads of hints and tips about fashion from me and Bex.
Not in the slightest.
No. We get some good advice about plants and some amazing deals as well. Really busy, so thanks for all your orders. That you really like the idea of that one, don't you?
I really like the idea. I don't have space for a eucalyptus in my garden, but I could have space for that. I think it's really clever.
And it does. It's great for cut foliage as well.
Love that. You know, as it matures and establishes, you'll get loads of. If you do what Dave was saying as well, and keep trimming this, you get nice dense foliage on it. You'll have plenty to be able to cut and use as foliage in your cut flower displays as well.
But that gorgeous fragrance. It's beautiful, and it looks good all year round as well.
Yeah.
510161. Right, good morning. Welcome to YouGarden TV. Lots of new viewers joining. My name is Shaun Ryan, by the way. This is lovely Bex Edwards. If you want to follow us on social media, you can do. If you want to email the potting shed, ygtv@yougarden.com. If you want to follow me on social media, I've started a bit of on Instagram, but I'm not very good at it. But I do quite a bit on Facebook.
You do, don't you? If you link them together... Anyway, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
You can link them. That's what I do. I've linked them, so I post on Instagram and it automatically posts it on Facebook.
But mine will only link to the Shaun Ryan account, the personal, not the page.
It's so complicated, isn't it?
But we often post on there just about what we're doing in the garden, some of the plants that we're growing from YouGarden. And there's Bex as well.
Yeah, we let you know if there's anything going on in the potting shed, if we're going to be on QVC, for example, because we also work with QVC. You're there this weekend, aren't you? He's doing the special link up we just heard Friday morning.
Yes, and then... we've got shows on Saturday
and Sunday,
at midday on QVC, all different plants and products, and on Sunday at 10 in the morning. Yeah.
We're going to be head to head.
And then you're on holiday next week.
I am on holiday, just for a couple of days.
Yes. So I'm doing all the work. No, actually, we've got Adam, I think, haven't we?
Adam's coming in.
Yeah. Right, where were we? Who's it? Somebody's messaging about their Karen, about the pond plants. She's bought them.
Are they for her wildlife pond? Oh, she's got a koi pond and she's got a wildlife pond.
Oh.
Very good, Karen. Yeah, Karen, in Lincolnshire, gardening in clay. I love it.
Love it.
I garden in clay as well. It's a nightmare, isn't it?
It's hard work.
It's hard work.
Yeah, but you can get some great results.
What I'd give for lovely loose soil to dig into. That would be so nice. No, I'm like,
I've got some areas that are a bit clay. Mine varies, my garden. But
and then you dig in,
plants do really
and then you lift your fork or your spade out, and then you're there just like shoving it off the end. It's so annoying.
But it's really good, rich soil. I'd much prefer clay than sand.
True.
Yeah.
True.
But you know what? Whatever soil type you've got, there are always plants that do well in that particular...
You just have to find the right ones.
And the same in terms of like whatever type of garden you've got in terms of which way it faces and how much sun or shade, there's always plants.
Yeah.
That some love shade, some love sun, some like dapple. You can always just finding the right ones. When people say to me, "Oh, I'm no good at gardening," I'm like, I think everyone can garden.
Everyone can garden.
It's just putting the right plant in the right place. Sometimes it's as simple as that.
And sometimes a bit of trial and error.
It is, and sometimes, sometimes.
What did I post the other day? I posted something the other day that said the only difference between a great gardener and a rubbish gardener is a great gardener has killed way more plants. And it's true because you've got to learn, haven't you? Anyway,
like that.
Back to the stars of the show, not us, the plants.
You've absolutely loved the hibiscus. But you've also loved this gorgeous, and now we haven't actually ever grown this one.
No.
Exocorda, you said the common name is pearlbush.
Pearlbush,
which makes sense.
You can see, can't you? So when the buds start to appear for these beautiful flowers that are going to burst open from them, they look like tiny little beautiful pearls. I mean, they stand out on their own, don't they? But then once these open, these are absolutely gorgeous. And as you're going to see from the picture in a moment, these get smothered, absolutely smothered in these pure white beautiful flowers. I can't smell anything.
No, I can't. I couldn't earlier.
And they are double. They look double flowers as well. Yeah, there's double petals on here.
It's just stunning, isn't it?
Doubles.
Really popular today. Isn't going to go too big as well. It's about 1.5 meters, something like that. 511240.
Beautiful, honestly, love that.
And then something that I have grown. I actually planted a couple of these in my garden last year, and my mum's had hers 3 years from YouGarden. The hibiscus. I cannot emphasise enough how amazing these are. If you haven't got a hibiscus in your garden, you've got to question why haven't you? And the only reason you might not is if you haven't got enough sun, because they do like full sun. But they are fully winter hardy. They are incredibly easy to grow. The flowers look so exotic and amazing.
Yeah.
They really do. I mean, hibiscus turn heads. People when they see hibiscus, it is like you are. You know, I was thinking, I look at that and think, I could be in Hawaii somewhere like that.
Yeah, they do look like they should be on those leis, you know, that you wear around the neck.
Yeah.
Maybe behind a beautiful woman's ear, just poking out. I could just see it. Beautiful.
But all you need is a nice sunny spot. They're not too bothered about soil type. They flower late on in the year, so we are talking kind of the end of summer. I would say late July, August, and September, maybe even October. Very easy to prune as well. They're not invasive. They actually require very little attention. The one thing that we've both said, which is very true, sometimes they are very late coming back into the green. Could be the end of May sometimes. So don't worry next year if you've still got twigs in May. They're just very slow coming back, but they always do. Yeah,
and it is the hardy version. There are hibiscus out there that we know are, tender, that you can't plant them outside. This is not one of those. You can plant it out. It's not going to be a problem at all.
I don't remember hibiscus as a child.
No,
anyway,
I don't think I do.
I really don't. Do you? I don't.
My mum's never grown it, I don't think.
My mum's gardened all her life, and she only bought hibiscus about 3 years ago. And she's like, why have I never had these before? But maybe I just don't remember them.
Maybe the hardy versions weren't available then. Maybe it was always the tender ones.
But anyway, they are available right now on YouGarden. Really popular. You need to be quick.
And do make sure you enter that code that you can see on the screen there. YGTV1424 is this week's code. It's really important because that's what's going to give you that £8 saving. And we're all about getting the best value for money when it comes to shopping for all of our garden plants and things. But what that code is also going to do is enter your free gift into your basket for you. And today's free gift is our really heavy duty, it's a grow bag. You can grow stuff in here. I grow potatoes in here last year. You can grow
I had fruit trees. I'll be honest, they were in for about 3 or 4 years, and then I put them in big pots. But yeah, I had fruit trees growing here for many years.
Yeah, they're great.
You could do raspberry. You could do things like raspberry canes.
Yeah, clearing garden rubbish away. Yeah. Whoever it was, Alison was it, who emailed in, said she'd put all her stuff in it to take it down to the tip.
Yeah, recycling, anything like that. Even food shopping, and I know.
It's true. I was thinking it as well. Definitely food shopping.
Yeah,
Why not?
That's 45 litres. That's far bigger than the carrier bag.
Yeah, and it's really strong and sturdy.
And I don't know about you, but I don't care what my bags look like when I'm food shopping. I just want to be able to carry as much as possible safely.
Yeah.
Lots of bottles of wine would go in that. Please drink responsibly.
I might do that, actually.
Do you know some things? Cat litter. Like if I've got a cat. Cat litter
the big
is
heavy
bulky and heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just so.
And they never sell it with handles on, do they?
No.
You never get the bags with handles on.
No. Very good point. Anyway, you're loving our free gift. They're worth $4.99, free with every single order. Just use the code YGTV1424. So if you go to our website, YouGarden.com, of course. This is our homepage. It's a great website, and we try and show you as much as we can. There's our head gardener, by the way. I love that picture, don't you? It's sort of smouldering on that one.
It is smouldering, isn't it?
So there we are, Bex.
That's us.
Yep. And these are all the products.
Yeah, all you have to do is scroll down. So this is what we've got on our show. You can scroll down if there's something specific you want to see, because we don't often get to everything. So if there's something specific you want to see, just email Stu and let him know. Can we have a look at this? And we'll bring it up for you. It's not a problem. We can do that. You can also shop the entire web as well. It doesn't just have to be the selection for the show. You can go and have a look at the entire website. Just always please use our code, because that's what gives you savings. That's what enters your free gift. Look at all those things we've got.
I know.
Right, what's he adding into the basket? Oh, we've got the hibiscus. What else are you putting in? Oh, we've got Exacorda. Oh, you've put last week's offer code, haven't you? 1424, Stu. There we go.
That's better.
So now we've got this week's free gift, which is our Garden Tidy, our grow bag. Because he's entered that code in, can you see the prices that have dropped? It's not $24.99, it's $16.99. That one's not $24.99, it's $19.99. The savings are racking up, but we are still spending $6.99 postage, and we're not far off getting to that £40.
No, so postage is capped at $6.99 per order, but if you want free delivery, you just need to get your order.
Oh, this one's
over
good
£40.
one.
Yeah, there you go.
This is the most inexpensive item that we have got on the show. So you can get one for $3.99, two for $5.98. No. Just put one in. Watch what happens. We got two free.
Oh!
This is a buy one, get two free.
That's a good, I was going to call it a hack there. It's not quite a hack, but it's a good little...
But look at what it's done. It's tipped that
good little
basket
fiddle, that one, isn't it?
to
get
£40.97, and it's got rid of that £6.99 postage. So we're actually spending less by adding that into the basket.
You've actually saved £3, haven't you?
And you've got three pots.
Yeah. So, I mean, I know a lot of you regulars, you've got really good at getting the best value out of the show.
Yeah.
But that's how you do it.
Just work your basket for whatever works better for you. I appreciate if you're on a budget and you can't get it to the £40 and you're happy paying that $6.99 postage, that's great. But if you can get it to just over £40, sometimes you can actually save a bit of money.
I was asked the other day, do I ever feel guilty about buying too many plants? I was like, absolutely not.
No, never.
No guilt ever.
Sometimes I feel guilty about putting that extra bottle of wine in the basket, but I'd never feel guilty about buying a plant.
I never feel guilty about that either.
I knew you were going to say that.
What do I feel guilty spending money on? Do you know what, actually, wasting food I always feel guilty about.
Yeah.
I always feel really bad if I bought something that's gone off in the fridge. I feel guilty about that.
I do often feel guilty. It's parent guilt, though.
Not plants.
Mine's parent guilt.
Let's move on. My mum might be watching. My mum's had I don't feel guilty about my mum's seen a lot of me over the weekend.
Has she? Good.
Yes.
Good.
It's difficult when you get old sometimes, isn't it?
It is.
But I have to say, my mum is in a great mood right now because the garden is looking fantastic.
It is looking good. I saw some pictures you posted of your mum's garden when you went round to visit, and it's looking really colourful.
Yeah, and a friend Terry came in at 92. He did all the jet washing for it.
Ah.
Yeah. Seriously, he did all the patios. He did all the weeding.
That's awesome.
So yeah, my mum she's in a really. When my mum's garden looks nice, she's happy, and when she can get out in the garden as well. The weather's been pretty good the last few days. Right, let's talk about compost though, because we sell thousands of litres of compost pretty much every single day and week, but at this time of year, growing season, we are super busy, and so thousands of orders have already gone out this morning here at YouGarden. But this is our top selling and the highest rated product of all time. It's only $24.98, but the club price, don't forget, if you are one of our club members, you get 10% off every order compost. It's worth becoming a club member, I would say, just for your compost orders. So you get it for $22.48, and you get free delivery, no going to the garden centre or the big stores, getting the dodgy trolley, lugging your compost around, put it in your car, and then you will get your free grow bag as well, 45 litres. So even if you just want to buy some compost today, you will get your free grow bag as well, which is brilliant value for money. But we were going to tell you about this compost, but we've got a better idea, haven't we, Bex?
Yeah, we have. Peter McDermott, our head gardener, worked in horticulture all his life. He was in the potting shed with Shaun a few weeks ago, so he's going to tell you all about our amazing premium professional compost.
We describe this as premium professional compost. And the reason for that is it is the compost that is known, this formula we have perfected over decades. So I've been using it for decades. We have perfected it over decades. You've got a blend of the best peats plus wood fibre that you can imagine. Now, by volume, approximately 50% of this compost is wood fibre, and the balance is made up of a blend of peats, and there are 3 different peats. So you've got things like sphagnum moss peat, which is renewable. You've got sedge peat, and then you've got darker sphagnum as well in there. So you've got 3 different peats. You've also got, you can see actually just there, there's slow release fertiliser. These little green, what look like little eggs, you'll see those dotted among the compost when you're planting it. That's slow release fertiliser. One of the most expensive ingredients in any compost is fertiliser. You can see that there's another one just down below. That is amazing because that will deploy nutrients to the roots of whatever you grow in this compost just when they need it over the next 6 months. You then got what's called a buffer. Now, peat in particular is naturally acidic. And plants like to be just on the acidic side of neutral as a generality. There are exceptions, so things like rhododendrons and azaleas, they love to be properly acidic in terms of the ericaceous soil or compost they're growing in. But most things like it just on the slightly acidic edge of neutral. So that's what this is designed to give you. So it's got a pH buffer to keep it in exactly that zone. The wood fibre keeps the sort of perfect air-water porosity ratio, which is what we talk about in the trade, all these complicated terms. But it's, what plants need is they need a jungle gym to grow in, so they need a jungle gym for their roots, which is called growing medium. They need some water, and they need some air, and they need nutrients. And when you've got the perfect compost, it blends the air and the water and the constituents of the compost. It all blends together to give the perfect environment. That's what this particular compost does, which is why it's trusted by us. We will be growing approximately 150,000 potted roses on this nursery this year. That's roughly what we grow most years. We'll be growing, I don't know how many hanging baskets, but our pre-planted hanging baskets that will be available later, you will have bought them in the autumn and last spring as well. They grow in this compost. We will grow countless perennials, whether they be in the 9 centimetre square pots or the 3 litre pots or the 5 litre pots, plus fruit trees. And this is the compost we use for all of those things. So we trust it, the trade trusts it, and actually based upon the literally hundreds and hundreds of thousands of bags of this particular compost that you've bought over the years, you definitely trust it as well. And, and actually, peat is a thing. We need to think about peat. Not me. I happen to also be peat, but it's the peat that's in here that we're talking about. We can still use peat in our gardens right now, and actually the alternatives, generally speaking, are a bit iffy. So if you want to get the best results, in my view, use this particular compost for as long as you can. It's got 50% other material in it, which is the lowest level we could get to and still have a professional quality product for you and for ourselves. So we've been as eco-friendly as we can, and we jumped onto that particular that approach years and years and years ago. So this is the same formulation that we've had for at least the last 6 or 7 years, with 50% other material to bulk out the peat, and it still works better. So I would say this is, in my opinion, it's the only compost I use at home. It's the compost we use on the nursery. I can't recommend it highly enough.
Yeah, Peter cannot recommend this highly enough, and he's the head gardener here.
He definitely knows what he's talking about.
He really does.
Thankfully. You'd like to think so as a head gardener, wouldn't you?
I mean, he's an amazing guy. His knowledge is incredible, but I know that his compost is probably his finest work.
Absolutely,
Really
he's
is.
very, very proud of that. And you know, as a compost that we use here at the nursery, this isn't something that we're selling to you, but we don't use ourselves. Shaun and I use it in our gardens,
amazing.
but more importantly, we use that here at the nursery. And as you heard earlier, if you were watching, 3,500 orders have gone out of the nursery in 3 hours this morning.
I think a bit more now. That was
It'll be more, yeah. I mean, that was an update nearly an hour ago. We use that compost here.
Now, Philip, good morning. Is a regular.
Oh, that's really nice, Philip. He wanted to let us know how impressed he was with the value of his order today. He got the Orange Trail Lilies, that's coming up. He got a Euphorbia, the Black Pearl.
It does.
And the Miner's Merlot. And the Clerodendron. Say again, sorry, Stu. Oh, the Pink Diamond.
Oh, I know that. Yes. It's not on the show, but yeah,
no.
we've had that before. But you can buy things just from the website. They're not on the show.
Absolutely, and with his club membership, he saved over £52.
Brilliant.
And with our offer code, he's also got his free gift as well. So this is a real sort of testament to the kind of savings that you can make. Thank you for that.
And can we just say, we both absolutely love the fact that so many of you tune in every week, or you stream later when you're working and things like that. And we adore the support that you've given us, and we thoroughly enjoyed being here presenting from the potting shed. We love our jobs. It's great because we are both very experienced gardeners, but we learn something every week. There's always new varieties, always plants that we maybe haven't grown ourselves.
We didn't know, we've
never grown that one.
Pond plants. We're learning about pond plants today.
Some things we've grown.
Loads.
Yeah. But the variety and the choice at YouGarden is actually really vast.
Yeah.
We've got many Mediterranean plants coming up in the future as well. In fact, we've even got a kiwi plant coming on today, haven't we?
Yeah, kiwi. It's called Jenny. She's over there. She's coming up soon.
Yes.
We've got a whole houseplant section. Aren't you doing a special show on houseplants at some point?
Yes. Yes. With a very famous gardener.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's coming up. We'll let you know more details.
That's all we'll say, yes. But we've got loads happening over the year. But it's always great value on this show as well. You always, you get such great offers. But let's remind you of some of the top favourites that we've had so far this morning on YouGarden TV. Doris, everyone loves Doris, don't they?
Yeah, baby Doris. You know Doris, the other variety. This has been named after that. It's a 70-year-old variety. This is a baby version, so smaller flowers, but lots of them, really easy to grow.
And then we have got the Appletini tree. We're really excited about this one. Bex has actually grown this and he's looking forward to getting a crop this year. It's only $9.99, so it's never going to go too big, this one, about 1.5 meters. The apples are a gorgeous red apple. That's a cherry on the left, by the way. That's the apple on the right. But smaller than a traditional apple, so it's a lot smaller than something like a Golden Delicious, for example. Really tasty. But I tell you what, the blossom against the bronzy foliage at this time of year is just extraordinary. It's so beautiful.
It's a beautiful pink. It looks a bit like a hellebore. You know that gorgeous pink hellebore that you
Yeah.
can get? It looks a bit like that.
Do you know what? Even if I never got fruit, I'd be happy with that.
Yeah.
But obviously, you will get lots of fruit.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm getting fruit this year, hopefully. So fingers crossed for me. I'll bring one in.
We've got lots of blossoms, so you must get some fruit from that.
I'd like to think so.
Self-fertile as well.
Self-fertile, absolutely. Really easy to grow.
And it's only $9.99 today. 300-210. You can grow that in a pot, of course, as well. You can even grow that in your free grow bag today.
Totally.
Yeah, it would actually. I know it wouldn't look amazing, but it'd be fine.
It'd be absolutely fine, yeah. Next one is the Euphorbia, the Miner's Merlot. That's mine in my garden. I did that video just last week. It's looking amazing. It was one of the popular sellers last week. It is continuing to be that this week. A really valuable plant to have. Love the darker foliage in a garden.
Yeah, and the yellow flowers. It's just amazing, that one, isn't it?
It really is.
That's been really popular. I mean, Euphorbias, there's so many wonderful varieties. I've got 7 in my garden, but I bought that last week just because of the colour. Very easy to grow, evergreen, and at this time of year, they really come into their own, don't they?
They do.
Yeah.
You see how those flowers are open, but look at how many buds there are. That's going to be outstanding. I'm going to go and have a look this afternoon and see what it's looking like
now,
a week on.
We are getting close to doing our hanging baskets and our patio pots and containers.
My begonias are growing nicely.
Are they?
Yeah.
Well, these are incredible. We were supposed to have these last week, but they are ready to go right now. Calibrico Million Bells. So these are mini petunias. They behave exactly like a petunia. They're like full sun, they trail and cascade, but the flowers are smaller, and I just think they look a little bit more delicate, a bit more interesting. And it's a lovely colour palette as well. You get 6 colours, 2 of each. So you get the hot colours, the yellows, the oranges, but you also get purples and pinks, 2 of each of those. And they will flower all summer long. Just take off the dead flowers, that will keep them flowering to try and prevent them from making seed pods, and keep them well fed with our blooming fast. I'm sure some of you got that as a freebie a few weeks ago. 401-553 for the Calibricoa Million Bells.
Something a little bit more exotic looking here with our hibiscus. This is called the Woodbridge variety. Love the colours in the flowers on here. The centres are really interesting as well, aren't they? But they definitely feel exotic, and you would look at that and think, I can't grow hibiscus, that's a tender plant. You can't plant that outside. No, 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 this one is a hardy variety. It also has the Award of Garden Merit from the RHS. So we're talking about a proven performer, great transitional plant, flowers later in the summer, but keeps going right the way through into October as well. So an excellent transitional plant, helping us, I know we don't want to think about it, but helping us get from summer into autumn. Let's enjoy summer first, shall we?
God, it's been a long winter.
It's been a long winter.
Yeah, let's enjoy that summer.
Look at those colours
I
there.
know. I'm so pleased so many have gone for that. I cannot believe how many people still don't have hibiscus in their garden. Presume that it's not winter hardy. This one certainly is.
It really
amazing things they really are. 574. Right. And then this has been so popular, the Exocorda. So it's flowering right now, and it's just delightful. You get so many flowers. The buds are like polished pearls, so it's often referred to as the pearl bush. That's its common name. I would say we can't smell a fragrance, so if it is fragrant, it would be very, very delicate. It's not really one of those grown for its fragrance, but it is grown for its extraordinary beauty, and will not grow too big, only about 1.5 meters there as well. 1999 501 240. But at this time of year, we are selling thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of plug plants. And sometimes it's not knowing which ones to go. Well, like, do I go for the Garden Ready? Do I go for the Pro Plugs? So we've got a little clip with my twin brother. He's not as, what's the word?
Rugged,
not as
handsome,
rugged as me. Wow.
funny, charming.
I love all this. But he does look like me. So here he is, my brother, that's all of those things. Just tell you about the different plug plants available. Hello there. Well, we've got different types of plug plants at YouGarden, different price points, different sizes. So I'm just here to really help you decide which ones you need, and also to explain how easy it is to plant them up. So the most affordable that we do are called Pro Plugs. They normally come in trays of 40. They are the best value and tend to be the smallest, but a little bit of growing, and they will be absolutely fantastic. The next ones that we've got here are the plug plants, and these are a medium size. They don't need as much growing up, just a little bit, and they normally come in quantities of 6. And then finally, we've got the Garden Ready, and they're exactly that. They're ready to go straight in your garden or your pots and containers, and they come in quantities of 10. Now I'm going to start with the Pro Plugs, but before I do, all plug plants will need a little drink when you first get them home. Bear in mind, they'll have been in the post for maybe a couple of days in transit. So literally just take them out, pop them in a bowl of water, give them, don't leave them there for hours and hours, just 10, 15 minutes, you'll be absolutely fine. And that just rehydrates them after their little journey. So these are the Pro Plugs. And what I'm going to suggest with these is growing them on in things like our windowsill propagator kit. These are ideal, and if you don't have a greenhouse, you can literally pop these on any windowsill in your home. And what I've done, I've taken one of the trays out. I've already potted 4 up here, so I'm just going to do the other 2. And I found the easiest way of getting these out, you can squeeze them out, but what I tend to do is give them just a gentle squeeze, but better still, I've just got a stick here. And can you see there's a little hole in the bottom of all of these for drainage? Just push that, and look, the plug comes out really easily. And that way, you're not going to damage any of those delicate leaves, because obviously it is a young baby plant. So I'm just going to take out one more, like that. And then I don't use anything fancy. I use my finger, make a little hole there and there, and then gently just pop that in and just firm it round ever so slightly. And then I'll give it all a good water as well. And then I'm going to just pop that in the propagator. In that goes. And you'd repeat. And that's ready to grow. And you'd be amazed how quickly these grow. They're already really strong plants. They just need to be grown up. So those are the Pro Plugs, normally trades at 40 and the most affordable, the best value. And it's really fun to see those grow into wonderful big plants. The next ones are our plug plants. Now, these are bigger. They come in 6s. And they come in mini greenhouses. And obviously they've been the cardboard boxes, which are all 100% recyclable. And if there are different varieties, different colours, they're all labelled as well. There's in fact, I better show you this. There's a label on the front that corresponds with, can you see there? The letters. So you've got A, B, C, D, E, F. They can see them a bit more clearly. So if you do want to, say, colour coordinate, then do make sure that you remember which ones are which. And I would suggest with these, because they are bigger and stronger, I would pot those on in a 9-centimetre pot. Things like skelly pots, shuttle trays would be absolutely superb. And again, I'm going to use 2 fingers this time, make a nice hole for that, and then gently just pop that in and firm it round a little bit, and then give it a good water. So those are the next size of plugs. And then the final ones are what we call garden ready. And they are exactly that. They're ready to go straight in your garden. You can see here, really strong plants, really good root systems, and they could go straight in beds and borders. This particular variety is a Pansy Cool Wave, so I'd put that straight in a hanging basket or a container, but they are ready to go with no growing on whatsoever. And I would probably, just looking at my hanging basket, I'd probably put 3 in the hanging basket, and you could actually get away with 1 in there, but if you wanted to make it look a bit fuller early on, you'd put a couple in there. But they are really healthy plants. All of our garden ready are exactly that. They've been grown on to really great standards and can be put straight in your garden. So I hope that helps you when it comes to choosing plants. Personally speaking, I tend to buy a mixture of all of these. So sometimes I'm on a budget and I'll go for the Pro Plugs. Sometimes I just want instant colour and I'll go for the garden ready. But whatever you go for, they're great quality. They all arrive in really fantastic recycled packaging, safely and securely. And I know they're going to give you so much fun and pleasure in your garden. That was my twin brother there. Have you noticed your copies as well as wearing the same top but in blue?
I know. Yeah. What's that about?
I don't know. It might have been because the tops were on a special offer.
It was a buy 2, buy 1 get 2.
Yeah, it was. I've got 3 of them. I've got a blue, a green and a brown, yeah. It was an offer. Because I love an offer like you do. Talking of offers, don't forget your free gift today. Everyone's loving it. It is our grow bag. These are brilliant. They're worth $4.99. So many uses. Yes, you can grow fruit trees in them, potatoes,
strawberries,
tomatoes. Would do well in there.
Yeah, they do really well.
Yeah, but they're also just really useful. I mean, they're a really, really strong bag for lugging things around, shopping, recycling,
taking stuff to the tip.
Yeah,
garden waste,
everything.
Logs,
weeding. I mean, honestly, they are just amazing. And they're actually a little bit bigger than our heavy-duty pots, which are 30 litres. So one of those is free with every single order today. If you're placing separate orders, you'll get one of those with each separate order. Right, what else do we need to tell you? We do need to tell you about postage. It is free when you spend over £40. What if you spend under £40?
There is only 1 postage cost. So it doesn't matter if you've got 3 or 4 items in your basket that all have postage attached to them. You'll only ever pay 1 postage cost if your order is under 40. If you can get your order to over 40, though, that's where we get rid of all of that postage cost. And if you do it just right, you end up spending less and getting an extra plant or extra pots or something. So just play with your baskets a little bit. If you want multiple free gifts, place multiple orders. And a great way of doing that is going for our compost, for example, because there's no postage included on that. So if you place a separate order for your compost and then come back and do a different order, that's where you can really start to make your orders work for you.
But we are busy today, so thank you so much for all of your orders. Right, I can even smell. I can smell this from here. It's
yeah, I
gorgeous.
don't need to put my face right in it.
No.
It's a really strong scent. But
and I've got a pure sense of smell. That is absolutely gorgeous, isn't it?
I adore the smell of Daphne. Daphne smells delicious.
But I'll tell you what, How beautiful as well. Look at those flowers.
So pretty. Sorry, I'll put it down.
So this one is
Gorgeous
aptly
flowers.
called Pink Fragrance. And I have to say, out of all the plants that we've ever shared with you, this is one of the most delightful. And Daphnes in general are very fragrant. This is particularly fragrant, isn't it?
It really, really is. I mean, it's beautifully compact as well, and it's nice and slow growing. So if you've got a smaller garden, you don't want to, you know, something that's going to go rampant, then Daphne is a really good one for you to add in. It is mostly evergreen, might be semi-evergreen depending on where you are, but mostly it is going to be an evergreen plant for you. The flowers are produced on the new growth with this one. This means you're going to get flushes of flowers all the way through from now right the way through summer.
So as all the new growth appears, more and more flowers.
More and more flowers, absolutely. It's great for Daphnes. You can cut the flowers, you can bring the scent indoors as well. Obviously, once this gets a bit more established, you'll have more and more flowers in order to be able to do that with. Pollinators adore it. It's winter hardy as well, so this is not a plant that you need to, you know, worry about. The only thing really is they don't like dry roots, so you want to water regularly and deeply. And then what I would say is the best time to plant it is actually now, sort of March and April or September, October, when the soil is warm but not too hot. These are the best times to plant a Daphne.
Cool. And they grow really neatly, I always think.
Really neat, nice and slow growing, very little pruning and maintenance.
And ideal for pots as well. So that's only $14.99. If you love your, quite often with gardens, it isn't just about how they look, it's incorporating all of your other senses, touch and smell and sound. And that one gives you the most delightful fragrance. It really does. 510732. Now, we've had a request to see the kiwi fruit.
Hey.
I'm really pleased. I was dying to get to this anyway. Known as Jenny, because I can honestly say I think it's the first time that I've ever seen a kiwi on the show.
Yeah, actually, no, you're right. We haven't done it. We haven't done it here in the potting shed. I did it previously when we were on our other shopping channel before. But yeah, this is the first time we've had it here in the potting shed.
And this really excites me to think you can grow kiwi fruit in the UK.
I know.
How incredible is that?
I love kiwi as well.
I do.
It's really delicious fruit, isn't it?
I love it.
I've had a kiwi for ages.
I love it on a cheesecake, actually.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, we're hungry.
Yeah.
We're
right,
hungry.
so this one is a double-up deal. So one for $9.99, two for $14.98.
Yeah, I mean, it is a self-fertile variety, so, you know...
You don't need to.
You don't need to, but I do think it's a great idea to have two of them, because obviously you get twice as many, even as a self-fertile. I'm sure there'll be some pollination thing that happens that'll help more fruits to come through. You are going to grow full-sized kiwis on here. That's the amazing thing.
And although the plants are relatively small right now, but in the 9 centimetre spot, this is a fast grower, isn't it?
It is. It's quite vigorous. Yeah. It responds very well to pruning, which you'll do during the winter time. It should produce fruit for you in, you know, the next couple of years. I don't think you'll get fruit in the first year.
No.
Planting a promise, obviously. A garden like you're going to live forever. Absolutely. This is going to produce fruit in a few years.
If you do get a bit of fruit the first year, that would be pretty amazing.
Yeah, totally.
But these are full-size kiwi fruits.
Full-size kiwi fruits. The plant itself, once it gets established and grows, we're talking 2.5, 3 metres height and spread here. So it will get to a decent size. You could grow it in a pot initially until it gets nice and established. You definitely want some good, organic, rich, fertile, well-drained soil in order to grow this. That's going to give you the best fruit formation.
And lots of sun.
And lots of sun. The best place to do this is against a lovely, you know, bright, sunny, south-facing wall. Yeah. Nice sheltered spot. It's gonna absolutely adore a really sunny location. But it is winter hardy as well, which I'm quite surprised about. I'm quite surprised about that.
I'm really tempted with this one. In fact, yeah.
Why not?
I am gonna.
You've got space.
Yeah.
Grow it all.
Do you know, I'm just trying to get a bit more fruit and veg in my garden.
Me too.
And interesting things. Now, I love kiwi, but I want friends to come around and go, oh my word, you've got kiwis growing in your garden.
Yeah.
I've got green fingers. But really easy to grow. Just that sunny spot.
Water well.
Yeah, and that's said pretty much with all fruits, particularly soft fruits, softer fruits. Yeah. They are fundamentally water, aren't they?
I think it'd be great to grow this actually. If you need a pot to grow it in, I would definitely recommend our heavy duty pots for these.
Although you could, I mean, I think when it's going on a bit, you could actually grow it in one of the grow bags as well, couldn't you?
Yeah, no,
you
definitely. Definitely.
I'd probably be a bit lost in there to start with. So I would...
Yeah, but you know what? With those, you can fold the tops down slightly.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You can fold the tops down slightly if you need to.
But I think that's amazing, don't you?
Yeah.
And fully hardy in the UK.
It's beautiful.
They're great.
Love the idea of it.
See, we don't bring you boring things and you garden.
No, we don't. Gardening for everyone.
Yeah. This is what I love about it, though. I'm excited about that. Yeah, I'm going to try it.
Yeah.
I want to. I've got a fig tree and I love that. And I've got blueberries. What else? I've got raspberries this year.
Nice.
So yeah, be able to come round to my house and have a lovely fruit salad. Right. Talking of blueberries.
Yeah, this is the berry bucks.
No, this one that I've got actually.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't have the berry bucks.
I bought it because I just think it's really pretty.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty plant, but it's productive at the same time.
Yeah.
It looks like a buxus bush, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You know, there's
so it grows into like a ball,
buxus shapes.
basically. But mine, right now, I'll be honest, mine are a bit further on than these. Mine are covered in white flowers.
Yeah.
I mean, literally covered.
Yeah.
They look amazing.
But let me
There's
just
a few
move these
coming
around.
back.
There's a few. You can see them around here, look. Look. Just around here, you can see loads of the little ones around here. Camera's coming.
So, what I would say about this variety, if you're somebody that doesn't have a lot of space, if you don't have like the veg area in your garden, but you want to try growing a bit of fruit, getting a bit healthier, saving money, helping with the environment, yeah, because I'm not being funny, but to ship blueberries across the UK or across the world just seems absolutely ridiculous when you can grow them yourself. This is a great variety and it loves being in the pot. It's more than happy being in a pot. It's attractive. I mean, you would grow that just for the flowers and the foliage, wouldn't you?
Absolutely. And
I would.
What you can do with this is you can create a low sort of mini productive bush, a hedge with
Yeah,
it.
you could, couldn't you?
It doesn't get ridiculously tall. We're only talking between 1 and 2 feet, maybe about 50 centimetres. But if you grew these sort of together, you could create a lovely productive... I'm on that camera. You could create a lovely productive little hedge going, separating your patio from your garden or down the side of a pathway.
But because of their natural shape, that buxus ball shape, they do look fantastic in pots and in small gardens.
Every single one of those flowers has the ability to produce a gorgeous tasting, juicy, sweet blueberry. And I just think that growing your own fruit and vegetables, nothing tastes as good as when you've grown it yourself.
And you know, I mentioned earlier about one of the things I hate is when I waste food. And if you ever buy blueberries, raspberries, strawberries, sometimes they can literally, overnight in the fridge, turn to mush, can't they?
They can.
So to be able to grow them yourself, save loads of money, as Bex said, they always taste so much better when you grow them yourself. And this looks really attractive at the same time. Now, the only thing we'll say, you do need... Oh, by the way, we've got the details of the kiwi. If you want the berry bucks, it's on a double-up deal, $9.99, or you can get for two for $14.98. But very important, blueberries are acid-loving, so you will need an ericaceous compost. And that isn't really an option. I'm not going to say, oh, well, you might make do. No, they really are acid-loving.
They really have to be in ericaceous, which is actually what makes them great for growing in pots, because obviously you can just put fully ericaceous in a pot.
And if you haven't got any ericaceous compost, we've got it on our website. Just type in Eric. I think I can spell it now. Ericaceous.
That's it. You got it. You nailed it.
Took me a while. Could never spell it. But the great thing, our website's very intuitive. So yeah, you literally type in ERI and then it tends to find
It'll pop up.
Yeah. But they're lovely. They're really pretty. Again, you want sunshine. Keep them well watered. Obviously, that's the same with all soft fruits. But they're a neat blueberry.
I'll bet you that the blueberries don't make it from the plant to the indoors, though.
No.
You'll be just eating them. You'll be potting around the garden. You'll be like, nom nom.
Yeah.
With the strawberries. They never go inside.
It's lovely to do that on the morning when you first go. You got a cup of tea or coffee in one hand and you just go around and have some nice fresh fruit. But really good value. And look, if you're just going for those alone, 2 for $14.98, you still get your free gift, that fantastic grow bag, which is worth $4.99.
Yeah.
So we can do some really nice little orders today. And loads in big orders, I should say, as well, making the most of the savings. Right, this, if you're trying to get your basket to £40, maybe just a little bit short, because don't forget you get free delivery when you spend over £40 today, then this is our Kitchen Bay, our Laurus nobilis. Now, Bex, I would say you are better at cooking than me. I was going to say slightly better. I think you're a lot better at cooking than me. But I've actually bought bay leaves before in little packets from the supermarket. They're not ultra expensive, but probably £1.50, something like that, £2.
Yeah, you don't need to.
You don't need to, do you?
You don't need to. Honestly, bay is such an easy plant. It's ridiculously easy to grow. It's evergreen as well.
Yeah.
So you've got lovely, lush, kind of gorgeous evergreen foliage. So it's an interesting plant. It creates little flowers on there as well. But you've got this lovely evergreen foliage on there, but it's useful. I love nothing more than when I'm cooking up a lasagna or a bolognese or whatever it might be, I go outside, I've got thyme, I've got rosemary, I've got bay in my garden. 3 of the most used herbs for the kind of cooking that we do in this country. And I just go out and pick my little bits of, herbs and take them inside. The flavouring that bay gives to food is absolutely incredible. It's dense, it's evergreen, it's you can create topia out of it, you can create beautiful hedging out of it. It has the RHS Award of Garden Merit. They also given it their perfect for pollinators stamp of approval as well. It's glorious. Just needs a sunny spot and you're good to go.
That surprised me it's got the perfect for pollinators, actually. Because
I think it's just the little flowers that appear on it later on.
I mean, they're not like massively significant, that's all.
No,
but obviously,
but
the
their
pollinators love
like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You often see bay trees used commercially as well because they're just so easy. They're not difficult to grow.
They're so simple.
So you'll often see them, a lot of shops and restaurants often have a couple of bay trees outside the door, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. But they're absolutely, at this price, it's the lowest priced bay tree I think we've ever done, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's beautiful, honestly.
Yeah.
It's a nice, compact size right now. Obviously, once you plant this out, it'll grow a bit bigger, you'll get more and more leaves from it, but you get plenty and plenty of leaves for you to do your cooking.
I can see more of the flowers on that picture.
Yeah, they're sort of a little, they're not massively significant. They're kind of small and they're sort of a limey green colour, but pollinators enjoy them.
Yeah. Well, it's got so many reasons to go for that one, and the price today $7.99. Don't forget, postage is $6.99 per order, not per item. But if you spend over £40, you will get free delivery today. Really busy, lots of viewers today.
I love it. That's because we're in gardening season. Everyone's on it now, aren't they? The Pyrrhus we're going to move on to. We got loads of pictures.
Was here last week.
We got loads of pictures sent in of people's Pyrrhus growing.
I wasn't here Sunday.
People were sending us loads of pictures. There was that amazing one from the woman up in Scotland, Stu. Oh my word, Shaun! If you can find this picture, you'll be blown away.
Lots of Pyrrhus?
The biggest Pyrrhus. It's beautiful. And I was out doing my dog walk yesterday, and I walked past this garden, and just over the wall, there was this Pyrrhus growing that's got all the flowers on. Now I thought, because I've never grown Pyrrhus, hands up, never grown it, I thought the flowers are relatively insignificant. They are not. The flowers are incredible that you get on the Pyrrhus. Obviously, it's a foliage plant. You get lovely, new, orangey, pinky, red, beautiful foliage on there. But around now, into May and into June time, they last for about a good 6 weeks. The flowers you get on here, very lily of the valley like, but they're so beautiful.
And I love this collection.
I think it's pretty.
Absolutely gorgeous. 3 different varieties, really good value. And I'll let you into secret, when we do some of our shows on QVC, we obviously make the set look nice, and we're using these at the moment.
We have been using them, haven't we?
Yeah, we've been using our planters as set dressing because they just look so good.
They really do.
Right, these are the ones that came in on Sunday.
This is
Elaine. That's looking hot. Elaine is looking great.
That looks gorgeous. Elaine is saying that the kiwis are in her basket and excuse me.
And the blueberries in flower. Yeah, mine actually. Elaine, if you've got the same ones as me, the berry books, they are in flower right now.
Amazing, that looks gorgeous. Lorraine's Pyrrhus.
Oh, now there's a flowers.
Look at those flowers. They are incredible, aren't they?
And has June sent hers in as well?
Yeah, this is the one.
Oh! Oh my word.
Now, she is up I can't remember where, Perthshire. She's up in Scotland. Now, Adam was with me on Sunday. Adam's a, gardener, been working in it for years. He says he's never seen one
because
they
are slow growing. That must be decades old.
That is incredible, isn't it?
Yeah.
That is going to take a long time. Please don't think that you buy this and you're going to have that great big bush in your garden next year. That's probably 15, 20,
Yeah.
like that's going to be a lot
It
of
could
years.
even be older because
A lot of
they
years
are
to get
slow
to that.
growing. But what a beauty!
That's incredible, isn't it?
Yeah.
That blew us away when we got that sent that on
Yeah,
Sunday.
I'm sure. I've never seen one that big.
Yeah.
Never. That's impressive. That's what we love about the show.
Yeah.
Right. Now, yours may take a little while to get that big.
But it's a lovely collection.
Yeah.
All 3 of these varieties included in here.
So that one there, Forest Flame. That's stunning, isn't it?
They're fully hardy. You don't have to worry about these. You get months and months of interest on them. There is some award of garden merit. I don't think all 3 of them, but they're easy to grow. They do want a bit of ericaceous compost, though. This is an ericaceous plant.
I was going to say mine are in ericaceous border.
Yeah, so you definitely want ericaceous compost.
That's
for
a
these.
flaming silver one, by the way, by the looks of things, yeah?
Beautiful. I like that because you've got that variegation on the leaves.
And then by process of elimination, that must be the mountain fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely stunning, aren't they?
I love it. The young foliage, you get these gorgeous shades of these reds and pinks and sort of, I mean, just an array of shades going in there. And then they mature to the sort of deeper and more glossy green foliage, some with variegation on there. They're very easy. The flowers, you're just going to trim those off once they've finished. And as far as the actual plant is concerned, just a light prune every couple of years to maintain the shape. Other than that, it's very, very easy.
And although we do obviously recommend ericaceous compost, my mum had one in her border for years in last place, and she
And it was all right.
yeah, it was
It's amazing,
great,
isn't it, how some things work?
But
Look at
now we're talking.
So pretty.
But they've been really popular. The saving today, by the way, is a £17 saving as
a
well.
big one, isn't it?
Yeah. But they're amazing things, aren't they, the perrenials? And I love that you say there's so many wonderful varieties that you can get, and we've put 3 of the very best together, working out just over £4 each, about £4.30, 3 pence each.
Yeah, and
for those.
evergreens. So
Yeah,
do think
of
about
course.
where you're going to put these. You know, if you've got some deciduous or some herbaceous and they look a bit boring and plain over the winter, dot your perrenials in.
Your perrenials collection. But I'm just thinking, Bex, if because they do, you know, ideally you'd put them in an ericaceous compost. If you're buying the blueberries,
Ooh.
go for those as well, and then
Yeah.
then both of those will love it. You know, if you're buying a bag of ericaceous compost, those and the blueberries would both be very, very suited to what, you know,
Yeah,
to the
love that
ericaceous
idea.
compost. Yeah, but yeah, lovely are those, aren't they? Really good and amazing value today. Right. I'm just going to move the freebie out of the way. Don't forget that is your freebie with every single order today. But if you've got any questions or comments, Bex and I love to hear from you. My name's Shaun. This is lovely Bex.
Hello.
YGTV@yougarden.com. So, yeah, we just love it. This is all about gardening, garden community, I should say, sharing ideas, sharing pictures, hopefully keeping you entertained and giving you some nice little tips and hints when it comes to your plants as well. And some great deals. That's what it's really about, isn't it?
Oh, my word.
Yeah.
As Philip messaged in earlier on, his order that he put together, he messaged in specifically to say how pleased he was with the savings and his order, the value, because he saved over £52. Once he'd put the code in, all the savings dropped off. He's a club member as well, so he saved an extra 10% off everything. Over £52 he saved on his order today. It's great.
Bex, is it just me or do I look tanned today?
You do look tanned. Have you overdone it on the old bronzer?
That's what I'm wondering.
Or was it just because you were out in
Well,
the
no,
garden?
I have got a bit. I think I've got a bit of colour from being out in the
Yeah,
garden.
it was lovely and
It was really
warm.
sunny. My face tans really well. The rest of me doesn't, but my face does. Actually, my face and arms tan really well.
Yeah, I'm looking a bit pale in comparison. I need to get outside, don't I?
Hang on, I've got my bronzer. Hang on.
Get the bronzer. Sure, I'll
Right.
get the fake tan out soon.
Where should we start, Bex?
Should we go Wygela?
Yeah, we had this. I remember when we first started doing the shows last year.
Yeah.
But it was a smaller.
It
was a 9
was.
centimetre pot one, wasn't it?
Now this, the Wygela, is the first truly dwarf variegated variety
Lovely.
here. It is only going to get to probably about 3 feet height and
Great.
spread here. So this is nice and compact, but it's really slow growing.
Because some can get huge,
They
can't they?
can get massive. This is only going to take like 3 to 5 years to get to that sort of size. So really lovely dwarf, excuse me, variegated leaves on here as well. It's beautiful, it's colourful, and Anywhere between sort of March and May is where you start getting these flowers on here. So
it's
looking at
buds,
this,
isn't it?
you can see there's loads of buds on here. They are getting ready to burst out, and the colour of those flowers against that variegated leaves is just going to be gorgeous. And you can get a second flush of flowers later on in the summer as well. If it's happy, you'll get a second flush of flowers. It's really beautiful, though, isn't it?
It's gorgeous. So I do remember it last year.
I absolutely adore it. This does not need ericaceous compost,
No,
by the way.
it's an easy one, this one.
Happy to be in any sort of location. That's a good point, Stu. So if you were looking at the rhododendron, the Bollywood, and thinking, oh, I don't want the hassle of having to do the ericaceous, this is sort of similar.
Yeah.
I don't think the flowers are as showy as the Bollywood, but you've got those beautiful pink flowers, you've got the variegated leaves on there. It could be a good alternative.
I just love variegated foliage in general.
I do as
so
well.
much more interesting, isn't it?
It stands out more.
Yeah.
It really does. That outlining makes it stand out more.
That is an amazing price. Bear in mind, it's already really well established in the 3-litre pots.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that would probably be at least 3 years old.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's winter hardy, so you can plant this out with no worries. It'll work perfectly in a border, but you could keep it in a pot as well. It'd be a lovely feature in a pot. And it definitely wants, well, I say definitely, it wants a sunny position, but it could cope with part shade as well. As long as it's getting some sun during the day, it'll be fine.
God, so that's the Weigela, the Florida Monet there in the 3-litre pot, just £12.99. I do think, have a look at your garden right now, and if there's lots of gaps and lots of things looking miserable, I've done one of my borders really badly, and everything is either deciduous or herbaceous. So basically, it just looks dead at the moment. Well, actually, it's coming back now, finally. But it is really important to have, I think, a decent amount of evergreen shrubs and plants in your garden, just so you don't have those really painful gaps where everything looks dead and empty. And that's a great one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It really is.
I adore it.
And you get all the lovely flowers, of course. Not too long to wait for those.
No, not
right.
at all.
Going to move on to our next brand new item. Right, I've got to show you the flower here.
Yeah, it's really cute, isn't it?
Look
at the colour of it.
Look, hang on. Sorry, I'm just going to tilt this forward. These are absolutely beautiful. We had one of these in our garden as a child, I remember.
Do you?
Yeah. No, it's a bit spiky, that's why I remember it, actually.
Yeah, it's an excellent security hedge.
Yeah.
If you want a security hedge, this is great because it does have some thorny branches on there. It does create sort of these little apple-like fruits that come on here.
Yeah, I remember those.
They can be cooked. Well, no, they can be cooked. They can be made into jelly, but I wouldn't bite into them.
Yeah, I remember, as a child, Mum said, don't eat them, yeah.
Did she?
Yeah.
Don't eat these, because kids will go and do all sorts with
But I
them.
do remember they were very attractive to look at. Like, they were like very small little red apples, yeah.
Tiny little red fruits you get on there. The colour of the flowers is absolutely incredible as well. You can train it as a climbing shrub against a wall or a fence or back of a border. It can get to about probably 2.5 metres in height. But it's now, obviously, it's out in flower. And as this matures and gets more established, like, look at how many flowers you get on there. And those are really pretty colours, aren't they?
I remember, I was only young because we moved from our first house when I was 7. But we had one of these. Next to it was a lilac tree, and then there was a forsythia. So we had 3 wonderful colours, yellow, orange, and purple. But I do remember this being covered in flowers and then getting the ornamental fruits afterwards. And it really was quite magnificent. But yeah, it is a bit spiky. So do bear that in mind. You do get the very sharp spikes actually down the stems. I mean, that shouldn't bother most of us, but just bear that in mind. But the flowers are absolutely extraordinary in terms of the colour. They're amazing, aren't they?
They really are gorgeous, aren't they? £5 saving on there. Look at the price as well. £7.99 or £7.19 if you're in the club. That's
it's a really good price. Yeah.
It's already established. Obviously, it's going to get bigger and better once you plant this out into your garden. And I would definitely be, as I said, going to the back of the border just because it can grow a bit bigger.
I think it's wonderful.
It really is.
Yeah. And who was it that requested to see that? Karen. Just for you, Karen.
There you go, Karen.
So that's our ornamental quince. But
I'm going to check that because I've definitely. I will check it. I've definitely brought this before, and I've read that you can cook and make them into jelly. So bear with me. I'm going to check those details because I've definitely looked that up somewhere in the past.
I think you're right, but now
I'm going to check it.
Yeah.
I'll have a little.
But for the time being, we'll say don't eat them.
Don't eat
not
them.
raw anyway.
No.
Definitely not raw. Definitely not raw. but they look really nice, the fruits. Right, we're going to move back to some of your absolute favourites on the show today. And this is the Euphorbia Miners Merlot. I went for it last week. I love euphorbias. There are so many wonderful varieties, but this stands out. I remember seeing this for the first time last year at the nursery.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, what on earth is that?
It's beautiful.
It's just stunning. And you bought yours a year ago, didn't you?
A year ago, yeah. I planted it, and I'm so impressed with it. It's one of the best things that's in my garden, genuinely. And right now, it is absolutely looking glorious. Honestly, I've done nothing to it. I planted it. And obviously it's got an occasional watering as I've gone around the garden, but I've done nothing else to it, and that is how it looks.
Amazing.
It really is, and you can see that one's got the flowers out, but look how many buds are ready to poke out. Now, I did that video beginning of last week. I think it was Monday last week I did that video, so I'm going to go out again this afternoon when I go home. I'm just going to see how many more of those flowers are open, because it is stunning. So even without the flowers, this looks incredible. And you've got that lovely darker foliage.
Yeah, and I was just going to say, you know, if you watch a lot of the garden programmes and you're into your garden design, having different palettes of colour in your garden, different textures, it's just, you can create the most amazing displays. And that, anything that's against that, we talked about maybe the Red Robin.
Yeah.
The Fortinia next to that. And then maybe something more green, like what we've got here.
We had the sedum on the show last week. Sedum was amazing.
That's the viburnum, that would have the white flowers. But, you know, when you see different colours together, it's quite magical, isn't it?
It really
and sometimes you
is.
don't even need lots of flowers if you've got lots of different foliage.
Yeah.
But the fact that you get all of those wonderful yellow flowers, Bex, is like a massive bonus, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's super easy to look after.
Yeah.
It's drought tolerant once it gets established. It's relatively fast growing, but doesn't get massive. We're only talking about 2 feet by 2 feet. So it's perfect in those borders, you know, middle to front of the border. That got to that size with me doing very little to it. You know, in one season, you should get to a decent size from this. Really low maintenance. I've done, as I said, other than water it occasionally, I've done nothing to it. It grows in a lovely, neat, mounded habit as well. So, again, no pruning really necessary. Just a little bit maybe cut off the flowers.
God. Well, you absolutely love that. I bought it last week. Bex bought it last year. Very easy to grow, but pretty amazing. Really are.
It really is.
Yeah, you love those.
Top tip.
So don't forget, they are on offer today as well. They're actually half price. We are busy today, we really are. So thank you to each and every one of you ordering. And I know a lot of you watch us on YouTube, but you also have to bear in mind that there's people watching on Facebook. We have a massive audience watching on our website, of course. And then a lot of people do stream later on. The whole idea of this show is great if you watch live, because you can interact, you can email, you can get a shout out. But I know a lot of you can sometimes be at work and things. And on our website, if you just click on well, first of all, you see the icon, the YGTV icon, click on that, and you get the live show straight away, but also you can watch previous shows as well.
Yeah, if the show is there, the offers are still available. Yeah. That's the rules. So you can often go back a week or two and get previous offers.
Yeah. Right. I'm excited at this time of year because it's kind of bedding plant season, isn't it? It's the time where we start to plan our pots, our hanging baskets, and we have got our fabulous Calibrachoa Million Bells coming up next. And these are gorgeous. Not only do you get 6 colours, 2 of each, but the way that these flower is incredible. They flower profusely all through the summer. 6 colours, so you're going to get purples, pinks, yellows, oranges, reds there, pinks. But I just think I think petunias, some of them can get a bit leggy and straggly.
They can, yeah.
Million Bells, I think, are a bit more compact, and the flowers are smaller, but I think you get a lot more of them.
Yeah, and they're really easy to look after.
Yeah.
They're very hard-working, very floriferous. You know, you just need to deadhead occasionally, which is quite an enjoyable job, but you get flowers all summer long. So easy to do. They trail gently over the edges of baskets and pots and, you know, window boxes. You could plant these into the ground as well, I think, because even though they have a gentle tumbling quality, they will also sort of spread and create ground cover. So I think if you put these at the front of borders, a sunny border though, these would look beautiful.
And do keep them well fed. Well, our blooming fast is perfect for these. They do like to be well fed, like most bedding plants throughout the summer months. But I had some of these just in white last year, actually. and they were magnificent. They grew huge, actually.
Yeah.
And they did flower all summer long, and I just love the colour palette. Now they're a good sized plug. All you need to do, you need to pot them up for about the next, I would say, 4 weeks. But you need to keep them obviously frost free, so put them in 9 centimetre pots, nice bright place on a windowsill in a greenhouse, keep them frost free, and then when they're a bit more established, that's when you plant them into your pots, your containers and your hanging baskets. They are all colour labelled as well, so you can see there, G is, you can see there, G is your white one and your H.
And that relates to the letters that you can see on the front here, so you can see the colour relating to the letter in there. So if you want to colour coordinate and colour code, you absolutely can.
Yeah.
If you just want to plant them out, don't worry about it. Just get them out of the box and look after them and then plant them when you're ready.
But don't forget, when they arrive, you will definitely want to give them a little drink, because they will have been in transit like a day or two, so do give them a drink. But they are wonderful. They really are. I highly recommend those. And great value. I'm not being funny, but my garden centre had one of those in a pot last year, and I think it was $4.99.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was a slightly bigger pot than a 9 centimetre, but yeah, they're for some reason, Calibracho's a lot more expensive than some other bedding plants out there.
Oh, I wonder why.
Don't know. It's a bit maybe rarer. I don't know.
Maybe.
But they tend to be, and it's not one. You know, a lot of supermarkets sell bedding plants in summer, and you get your lobelia, your geraniums. Your standard busy lizzies, all the what I call the basic bedding plants. Lovely, don't get me wrong, but you very rarely see Calibrachoa.
Yeah, and do you know what? And I've been guilty of it. You nip into Tesco or Asda or Sainsbury's, whichever one you're going to. Oh, that's nice, I'll grab that. But do you know what? Now I work at a nursery. Now I understand what goes into looking after plants, making sure that they're kept disease-free and this, that and the other. It does make me wonder, like, I want to buy them from a place that knows what they're doing with plants, personally.
Yeah, sometimes the supermarket stuff just doesn't do that well, does it?
Doesn't?
No.
Where's it come from?
How many times do you go to the supermarket and these poor, like, endless
they're all
trolleys of plants?
straggly.
Yeah, all dry. I was just going to say, they're all dried out in the sun, and you think, oh my word. So then they take 50p off and you're supposed to buy them. You're like, actually, no, I think they've had it. But they're a premium plant, those. They really, really are.
Yeah,
right, we're going to move on to our dianthus, but a very special dianthus, because this is a baby one. It's called Baby Doris. I always think dianthus are so hard-working, so easy. They are brilliant in pretty much any garden, but I like the fact that these are a little bit more compact.
Yeah, so these have been named after, you know, the Doris, the Dianthus Doris. They're 70-year-old variety of Dianthus out there. But these are the baby Doris because they're just that little bit smaller, a little bit more compact. They're heavily fragranced. You've got lovely ruffled double flowers on there. They're compact. They're great for growing in smaller gardens. They've got lovely sturdy stems, so these can work brilliantly as cut flowers as well. Obviously, you've got that lovely silvery green foliage at the bottom there too. But let's face it, it's the flowers that we're growing the baby Doris for, isn't it? They're instantly recognisable. They're an outstanding performer. They're hard-working, reliable, and ridiculously easy to grow.
Yeah. And yeah, we just talked about bedding plants, and I love my bedding plants, so we'll be having Calibrachoa again. But I think years ago, I used to do all. I had a smaller garden. It was all pots, and I did all summer and winter bedding. It cost a fortune.
Yeah, every season you're changing that round. It's
so
a lot of money.
Buy these once, and you've got them for many, many years, if not decades. And they will flower all summer long and produce a lovely. I always think the clumps are really nice and neat on these as well. But they are evergreen as well, so you've always got that foliage in the winter time, but you get so many beautiful flowers every single summer. Like those a lot, and 12 plug plants.
Lovely.
Great in pots actually as well. With them in a smaller variety, they look really nice in pots, wouldn't they?
Totally, yeah. Make sure you enter the code when you place that order, YGTV1424, because this has a £5 saving on it. If you don't put the offer code in, you don't get the offer. You'll miss out on that £5 saving. So please make sure you enter that so you can get the best price possible.
And thank you for all the lovely emails that are still coming in. Right, value-wise, this is phenomenal. It's 6 evergreen shrubs for $14.99. Even our usual price is really good, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I think
£20 would be great.
At $19.99, this is still an amazing price. When you think about the fact that every single one you're going to get is evergreen, it's going to be hardy, it's going to be easy to look after, it's going to give you year-round interest for many years. For example, Photinia. Now, I've got a massive Photinia in my garden. It was there before I moved into that house, so it's definitely 10 years old. It was big when we moved in, so I'd say it's at least, you know, another 5-6 years before we moved in there. Photinia lasts such a long time, but delights every single year. Choicea. That's another one, super easy, long-lasting perennial, just keeps going for you. Viburnum. I mean, how easy is viburnum?
There it is, and that's going to be covered in white flowers.
Yeah. I can't remember the names of
Right,
those.
Unanimous is this one. Now, we were...
Unanimous, yeah.
We were being a bit, what's the word, scathing about Unanimous. And because some are a little bit dull, but I think they have the place. But I think this is a bit more interesting.
Do you know what? I should stop being so
I
down
like
on Unanimous.
Unanimous.
Unanimous has its
Yeah,
place.
it does.
It's, you know, it's a wonderful variegated foliage. It is, it's beautiful.
And I think sometimes Unanimous highlights other things in your garden, but this is really nice because it's the emerald gold. Now, contents will vary depending on the time of year, but they will all be gorgeous evergreen plants. You might even get things like ceanothus that we've got down there as well.
Cuba was that one?
No, that's this one here.
All right.
Yeah, which has the berries.
Yes.
The red berries.
Lovely big leaves on there as well.
This gives you an idea of what you will get. Contents will vary slightly, but they're all going to be evergreen, easy.
I quite like these
value.
ones where you get a surprise though.
Yeah,
it's
I do.
quite exciting, isn't it? When you get that surprise, you get to open the box and you're like, ooh, what's in here?
And what you might want to do in the first few years, just have these. So I've got covered in plant. What did I catch there? But you might have them just in the centre of a pot with summer bedding around. Yeah, for the first few years until they get a bit bigger, and then pop them in your beds and borders. But amazing value, £14.99, 510403 is your item number, saving £5. And then, very quickly, I know we've still got so much to show you, but we have got the rhododendron Bollywood. Just splendid, beautiful, exotic.
We love rhododendron.
Yeah.
Rhododendron is just one of the firm favourites. Lovely summer flowers, exotic and silky and beautiful. But this one has that added interest with the variegated leaves on there as well. Really easy to look after. Just make sure you've got some ericaceous compost. Put it in a pot with ericaceous compost, or make sure you dig in lots of ericaceous compost into the border that you're planting it in.
Cool.
But really easy to look after.
Well, what we're going to do is just go back to some of your favourites in the last half an hour of the show. But we want you to get the best value from the show. And our riggers are really clever at doing that.
They are.
You've worked out the system. And it's good to do that. We want you to get as much for your money as possible. But if you are new to the show, a few top tips. First of all, spend over £40, you get free delivery. That's really important, isn't it?
Yeah, love that. There is only one postage cost if you're under £40. So even if you've got 3 or 4 items in your basket that have postage attached to them, you'll only pay that one cost. But it works in your favour if you can tip it over that £40 mark.
And you might just want to get some compost or some pots. We have got things like the
Torinos,
and it's a buy one get 2 free for $3.99. So there are maybe little things you can do just to get your basket over £40.
I mean, the bay bush is, what's that, $7.99?
Yeah.
The appletini, that one's a really low price as well, just $9.99 for that one. There are a few items that are on the show that are, quite low in price that might just help you.
And to get all of the promotions and offers, you just need to use the code today, which is YGTV1424. That is the off code for today's show. So we're going to go back to some of your favourites, but let's remind you, actually, the top seller today, the hibiscus.
Nah.
Yes.
Love it.
Really pleased about this. So, don't think, because this looks so exotic, and you maybe have been abroad and you've seen hibiscus, there are many varieties, and some certainly are not suitable for the UK, but this one is. So fully winter hardy, the most amazing flowers every year, and it gets covered in flowers, generally speaking. All you need is a sunny spot, well-drained soil, but it doesn't have to be rich soil. Hibiscus, actually, this particular variety, it does pretty well in even quite poor soil. Now, do not panic next year, because it will lose its leaves in winter, and it is often, hibiscus are sometimes really slow at coming back into the green. It can sometimes take till mid-May, at the end of May, but do not panic, they are fully winter hardy. And it is late flowering, so when I say late flowering, late summer, you know, maybe end of July, August, September, October time. But they're amazing, and it's a really big size. It's in a 19 centimetre pot. You should get many, many flowers this year. Then also, very popular, we have got the pearl shrub, the Hexacorda. So it's in flower right now, just coming into flower in April time. Doesn't grow too big, so about 1.5 meters, but I just adore it. So many of you have gone for this. I can't believe I've never grown one. And you imagine, this is in flower kind of April time, so it's going to highlight things like maybe your forsythia that might still be in flower, maybe ceanothus is beginning to come out at this time of year. But to have that vintage white in April is absolutely spectacular. 511 240 for the Hexacorda or the pearl shrub. Now, a bit of a first today, we've actually brought you a pond plant collection. Now, Bex and I have been really honest, neither of us have got ponds. We would like ponds, but what we can say is the value here is amazing. You've got things like the bog arum, you've got the pickerel weed, you've got the bulrush, the flowering rush, the marsh marigold, and the common cotton grass. Well, that's the marsh marigold that we're looking at right now. Pond plants can be very expensive. That one there is absolutely gorgeous, and that is the common cotton grass as well. So many, many beautiful, beautiful flowers amongst this collection. They grow different heights as well. I like that one there, don't you? The purple coloured one. So that one, let me remember, I think that one was, I think it was a pickerel weed, yeah, it was. And there, then you've also got, as you can see there, the gorgeous cotton grass. So designed to give you lots of different colour, lots of different height. Lots of you have gone for those, so I'm very envious. Obviously, there's a lot of pond owners out there. 560, 559. Then we have the apple teeny. Right, this is only 9.99. It's a gorgeous little apple tree, this one, you know, because it only grows to about 1.5 meters. It produces really delicious red apples, slightly smaller. So you know when you sometimes buy the bags of apples for the kids? That's a cherry on the left, by the way, so it gives you an idea of the size. So they're slightly smaller than some other apple varieties out there. Gorgeous blossom. I mean, do you know what? Even if I didn't have apples, I would buy this for the blossom and the foliage. But you're actually going to get some really decent crops of apples as well. Will take you a few years to get this established, of course, but it will only ever grow to about 1.5 meters as well. I think that is gorgeous, and it's 300 210 for the apple teeny. Is an apple teeny a cocktail as well? Sounds like one, doesn't it? Oh, I'll have an apple teeny, please. I'm sure it's a cocktail. Anyway, then we've got Dianthus, baby Doris. So, you probably know Dianthus and the Doris variety. This is the really, really beautiful, slightly more compact one. Only goes about 30 centimetres in terms of height. I love Dianthus. So hard-working. They will flower all summer long. They are evergreen. All you need to do is deadhead. They like sunshine. They're clump forming. And the value there is amazing. You should get flowers this first year. They are plug plants, but yeah, you will definitely get some nice displays, I would say, in year one, but more and more as the years progress. We've had a lovely show.
An apple martini is a cocktail.
Knew it.
An apple teeny is a cocktail containing vodka and one or more of apple juice, apple cider, apple liqueur, or apple brandy.
I knew it. I think I've had one on a cruise ship.
Yummy.
Yeah.
Sounds delicious.
There you go. Thought it was. Well done, Max. It's like every time I said apple tea, I was like, I kept thinking cocktail.
It's got to be a cocktail.
Yeah. Right. Well done to everyone that's placing an order. Lots of you ordering on today's show, and I love the free gift, don't you?
Yeah, it's
love
awesome.
it.
It's because it's handy. This is something that you will use time and time again. It's a bit like our, heavy-duty pots. You'll use it. You'll find uses for it that you didn't think of to start with?
I think I've got 3 of these in my greenhouse. I have grown fruit trees in them, potatoes, tomatoes, raspberries. They're actually bigger than our heavy duty pots.
Yeah, they're 45 litre, which I'm actually surprised about, because when you look at it in comparison, you'd think it's a similar size, but it's 45 litres.
Honestly, I love a freebie, and that is your freebie today, and you will use that so often. Now, even if you're just buying our compost today, you'll get your free gift. And our compost is our best-selling product here at YouGarden. It's what we grow everything in that we plant up ourselves. So, garden-ready hanging baskets. They're all being grown in this right now. Our bare root roses. I think we planted up 2,500 of the hydrangea magical candles, that's what I'm thinking of. So it is the best compost that we know. If there was a better compost, we'd use it on the nursery.
Exactly
That's
that.
it, yeah.
And that is a really good point, because our head gardener is... he's so keen and so enthusiastic about healthy, good plants. You know, this isn't just let's get him out the door. He wants to bring the best.
Yeah, you never walk around this nursery and say we're right in the middle of an 11-acre nursery in Lincolnshire. You never walk around and go, oh, they look a bit ropey. You just don't, do you?
No, the health and well-being of the plants is a top priority. So, as you said, Shaun, if there was a better compost, we would be using it.
The amount of times I walk around garden centres, and I do go to garden centres, normally for the cafes and things, and for a nose, I always do. But the amount of times I walk round, particularly sometimes the big stores, and I'm like, oh my word, is nobody looking after those plants?
Yeah.
It upsets me sometimes. You just see plants that are just underwatered, in the wrong place, stored badly.
Yeah.
I used to work in a garden centre years ago and as a student, and I used to have pride in making sure everything was kept well.
Yeah.
But yeah, the point is, this is compost we use on the nursery for our plants, but it is a formulation that's been perfected over many years, hasn't it?
It really has. So it is a reduced peat content in here. There are a few different types of peat. One is renewable, the sphagnum moss peat. The other peat, we have reduced the content of this many years ago, before everybody was sort of thinking about environmental concerns. We use the minimum amount for the maximum results here. It's so light, it's so soft, it's fluffy, it's airy. This is perfect for growing seeds in, for example. Look at how soft and light and airy that is. But if you're planting anything else, seeds through to trees, if you're planting a great big tree in here, this has got some really good ingredients in here, some excellent ingredients that are going to help feed your plants. But also, because of that texture, it means that the roots can spread, they can grow, they can reach for the food, they can reach for the nutrients, they can reach for the water, but they've got room to breathe as well. The science of compost is fascinating when you start learning about it.
And do you know what? It's just not worth scrimping on, I don't think.
No.
Because you spend good money on your plants, you want them to have the best life, don't you? You really do. And this compost gives every plant, as we say, from seeds all the way through to trees, their best possible chance in life. And I would love you to try it if you've never ever tried it before. We do different sizes. We do 20 litres, 40, but the best value is the 250 litres, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%.
It really is.
Because it's delivered direct to your door, no postage cost included. 250 litre bags makes it really simple and easy for you to move around your garden.
And do you know what? I would say it's worth joining the club just to buy compost, because you save £2.50 every single time you order, and the club membership is £5 a year on auto renewal. So 2 orders of compost, you got your club membership price back.
That's it.
It's really good, and we are always really busy for compost, but particularly 2 times a year really, and it's generally springtime now, and as we head into September, October, when people are doing the winter bedding and things like that. So grab yours right now. Even if you placed an order earlier, you can place a second order for compost and you will get another of your grow bags absolutely free, as long as you use the code YGTV1424. Right, these have been the 2 top sellers, Bex, haven't they?
Yeah, I'm really pleased because we picked these out, didn't we?
We did.
Right at the top. The Exacorda. Yeah, wow. It's really breathtaking. It's known as the pearl bush. These beautiful blooms, when they're buds, they're really nice, tightly packed buds, but they do look like miniature pearls, and this is where it gets its common name of the pearl bush from. But this is going to get smothered, and it's one of the perfect spring flowering plants for your garden. You can see how many flowers are ready to open on here, but once this matures, once it establishes, you are going to be blown away by how many of these gorgeous double because they are doubles. There's double petals here. You see, oh, I'm trying to fold it over. Double petals on here. These are going to be smothering this plant. It's super easy to grow, relatively compact as well, so it's great for smaller spaces. We're talking maybe 1.5 metres by 1.5 metres height and spread here. And I'm going to recommend planting this next to something like a Photinia.
Yeah.
Because the contrast you will get. Obviously, the Photinia looks amazing, doesn't it, with that bright red new growth that comes at this time of year. And then this will burst into bloom as well next to it.
Yeah.
The contrast between the two will be outstanding.
See, I feel really inspired today because I have got, I think I've got 5 Photinia in my garden. And now I'm thinking that I might even go for a couple of these.
Yeah, and put them near the Photinias.
It look amazing. Yeah.
So I've got this beautiful. It does get lovely white blossom on it. I've completely forgotten the name of it. It's this gorgeous tree, and it grows right next to my Photinia. And the contrast between the two is incredible.
Yeah.
It really is.
But everyone's fallen in love with that. I just do not know why I've never grown one before.
Yeah.
Grows about 1.5 metres, we're saying.
About 1.5 metres. It's going to be best in a sunny spot, but can cope with a little bit of shade. So
again, perfect for, say, next to your Photinia.
Perfect. And once it gets established, it's drought tolerant as well. So this isn't something that you need to constantly be watering and mollycoddling and looking after.
It's just absolutely gorgeous, isn't it? We love you.
We love you.
We do. You're very pretty. 511240. 19.99, only £17.99 if you are a club member. Right, if you're not a member of the club, that's all you need to do. You actually get a little reminder as you check out. So, 2 options, auto-renewal. You get the same benefits, but one is auto-renewal, one is just a one-off membership. We recommend the auto-renewal because guess what? You can actually cancel at the end of the 12 months should you wish to. That is not a problem. But that is normally £20. It is £5 today, saving £15. And the great thing is, if you go for auto-renewal, the price will never go up. We've put that in print, so we can only charge you £5 for the rest of your life, £5 a year. But the benefits are amazing. 10% off every plant and accessory. That includes things like your compost, your pots. 5% off outdoor living and gifts. So outdoor living, we've got things like garden machinery, haven't we? And tools.
And furniture and that sort of stuff. So you can still get 5% discount on those as well. And I love the £20 worth of vouchers that you get. It's like free money. I love free money.
Just don't forget about your vouchers.
My favourite kind of money.
You like to use one every 3 months, by the way, with your vouchers. But yeah, join the club today and you'll save even more money. Our regulars rave about the club, don't they?
They do. Well, over 40,000 members cannot be wrong.
No. 2 of them, including us. Right, hibiscus time. This is the Woodridge. An absolutely stunning hibiscus, which is fully winter hard in the UK, flowers every year, late summer into autumn, big, beautiful flowers, and you get loads of them.
Loads of them, and actually it's on this shot here. This is what I wanted to look at with the colour of the flowers, because on the previous one it just looks like, shades of pink, but actually look at the shades of kind of lilac that you can see in there as well, and I think that's what sets this one apart from other hibiscus out there. It's a fully hardy hibiscus. Please don't mistake this for the more tender varieties. This is one that can get planted out in your gardens. It's winter hardy.
I first really fell in love with hibiscus when I lived next to an elderly couple, sadly no longer with us, but they had a blue hibiscus. We had a stone wall dividing the 2 houses, and it was quite a low one, so it was Bill and Noreen. I used to chat to Bill, particularly as he was into his gardening. And I remember we'd only lived there, say, a few months, and his hibiscus came into flower, and I was like, oh my word, what is that? Because I don't think I'd ever seen one so beautiful. This is going to go back about probably 10, 12 years ago, but they weren't really around in the UK when I was young.
I don't remember.
No, but there's so many varieties now that are fully winter hardy and suitable for the UK, and this is one of them. And they are absolutely amazing. Cannot recommend that highly enough. And this is big, so I reckon you're going to get lots of flowers this year.
I agree, yeah. I think there'll be plenty of flowers, and it will transition. I know you don't want to think about it, I'm so sorry, but obviously we plan for the future with gardening, don't we? It'll transition from your summer garden into your autumn garden, because these keep their flowers right the way through until October time.
Do you know what? I'm just looking at, how well established that is.
I love how well branched it is as well. That's going to be really a lovely shape.
I mean, that's stunning. It's been one of the most popular items today, so well done. Let us know. You've still got time to message us about hibiscus. Have you got a hibiscus? Are you buying it today? What do you think of this particular variety? It's YGTV at yougarden.com.
Lovely. Right, we've got some pots to look at next. And these we're recommending as being the perfect sort of basket filler, because this is probably our lowest priced item on the show, and it is a buy one get two free. So you only have to put one of these into your basket, enter the code YGTV1424, and we will then put the other two into your basket for you. And I've got several pots of this size. I've got some that are exactly this. I've got the Alhambra, which is the round one, similar size, and I find them incredibly useful, particularly for quickly and easily changing over, you know, summer displays, winter displays. They're perfect for little bulbs to go in there. They're great for summer bedding, winter bedding. I've got this is where I try and remember the names.
Go on.
Victoriana, you know, the lace.
The Primula.
Primula, yeah, the ones with the lacy edges around them. I had those in here. I've actually planted them into the ground now.
Managed them really well, have you?
Yeah, really good. They're looking amazing.
Yeah.
But these are so quick and easy to change over displays. They don't take up loads and loads of compost. You've got drainage holes in there as well. They work perfectly if you've got some steps, haven't you? Either your formal garden bit.
Yeah, the lovely on steps. Yeah.
So if you put them down each end of the steps, it just creates that lovely display going up there.
And it's so easy because it's so, you know, such a nice size. It's just so easy.
It's easy
to change over. I mean, all my crocuses are just all leaf now in my pots. So I'm going to dig the crocuses out the pots, put them in my beds and borders, and then repot with some summer bedding.
That's what I do with it. So I do loads of bulbs and things in my pots, and when they go over, what I do is I take the bulbs and put them into the borders, and then the borders just keep getting more and more beautiful, and then more bulbs next year. $3.99 each. I know. That's what it says on the tag here.
Buy one, get two free on today's show.
Absolutely.
So if you want to get your order to over £40, there you go. That's a great way of maybe just tipping your basket over. Now, something else, because I know a lot of you maybe have got orders around about £30, £35. You're thinking, I want free postage. The kitchen bay is only $7.99.
Yeah, and this is great. If you are at that sort of £35, £36 mark, adding this into your basket, it means that you're not going to pay the postage. You're probably going to spend less than you would if you were paying the postage, and you're going to get a really useful plant to put in your garden. And I say useful because, obviously, bay, you can use it to flavour your food. But it's also evergreen. It's also absolutely glorious. It also has the the RHS PFP, plant for pollinators, because you get these lovely little flowers on there.
So I was surprised about that, because I know the flowers are not the most significant ones, but then, you know...
But pollinators must like it.
Yeah, you do get a lot of them, actually, so... Yeah.
The pollinators must like it. But more importantly, use bay for your cooking. You'll have an evergreen, beautiful shrub, looks gorgeous all year round, but the flavouring from bay is absolutely incredible.
Oh, that's a great little plant there for such a lovely little price, $7.99.
And it's hardy down to about -5, so you might want to give it a little protection over the winter, depending on where you are, but most places it's going to be perfect, no issues. What
was that, stew?
Stew?
I missed...
Oh, wajila.
No, he said it. He just said it. He said it in quite a...
I missed it.
quite a high-end accent. It was like, we're going to the Monet. And I was like,
Monet.
So, yes. we love this one, and there's been quite a surge in it. We did bring you this last year, but it was a small...
Was it in the collection? It was.
Was
it in the head gardener's selection?
It was.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah, you were so right. I remember it in a 9cm pot, that was us. It was a lot smaller than this.
Yeah, our head gardener put together a little selection of plants. It had this, it had... Oh, I can't remember. But it was really popular little collection, and this was one of them.
But we brought you the bigger, grown-on version this show, and it's only $12.99. Great foliage. I mean, it's not even flowering yet. Covered in buds, but the foliage is lovely.
The foliage is gorgeous because you've got green variegation, but you've also got lovely kind of maroony colours and edged with like blush pink colours on there as well. So the foliage is really interesting. You're also going to get these beautiful pink flowers on there as well. And there's buds that's ready to burst open. Anywhere between March and May is where you get those flowers. You can get a second flush of those flowers going on later in the year as well. We've been saying if you've been interested in, for example, the rhododendron, our Bollywood, would. But you don't want to go to the hassle of the ericaceous border and pot and all the rest of it. This might be an option for you. I think the rhododendron flowers are a bit more showy than the Weigela flowers, but you've got a similar looking bush, and it doesn't get massive. It's only going to get to about 3 feet height and spread. It's
gorgeous.
Very easy. You know, it's the first truly variegated version of this.
Really special.
Dwarf variegated.
Yes, because it's a small
Sorry.
one. So about 3 foot, we're saying?
Yeah, about 3 foot
about
by 3
metre.
foot. And it'll take a little while to get there.
That is absolutely stunning. You've loved it as well. $12.99, 5, 10, 7, 10 is your number there. Right. We always like to surprise you here at YouGarden, and we've got a massive range of plants and some really interesting things. And we've got kiwis for you now. Yes, you can grow kiwis, proper kiwis, in the UK with these, known as the Jenny. Now, I know you might be looking thinking, I'm going to have to wait years and years for kiwi. But actually, these are really quite fast growing.
Quite fast
vigorous.
growing. I don't think you'll get fruit first year, but you should get fruit within the first few years, 2 to 3 years maybe. It is a vigorous grower. It responds incredibly well to pruning. It can get to 2.5, 3 metres height and spread. So it's going to get there relatively quickly, but it is winter hardy, which I find absolutely incredible. A winter hardy plant that you can grow kiwi fruit, full-size kiwi fruit in the UK. It's a self-fertile variety. It is also incredibly reliable. So once this gets established, my word, you're going to be picking your own fruits, your own kiwi fruits around September, October time is when they will ripen. And you'll be able to eat your own kiwis you've grown yourself.
I'm definitely going to go for those.
I think it'd be dead interesting. Give it a go.
We did say sunny spot. Obviously, the sunnier the better. If you've got a south-facing wall fence against that, would be ideal.
And water well, obviously. It's going to, soft fruits, they like a lot of water, don't they?
But give that a go. You don't have to buy 2 because, as Bex said, they are self-fertile. But we are doing a double-up deal, so 2 for $14.98.
If you like kiwis, get 2.
Yeah. I can't wait to try that.
It's a tried and tested variety. It is one of the best performers for the UK grower.
Yeah.
So it's well
so there will be,
worth it.
you might be thinking, hang on, I didn't think you could grow kiwi. There'll be other varieties that are not suitable for the UK.
Yes.
But Jenny certainly is.
I hope Jenny's watching.
Yes.
Morning, Jenny.
Morning, Jenny.
Watching. Hope you're well.
And then we've had quite a bit of interest on our pond collection of plants as well. And we've been really honest with you. Neither of us have ever had a pond. It's on my list. Bex wants a pond when she moves house.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've actually got room. I just haven't had time to do it yet. But I have seen. I love watching the garden programs. Yeah, people create ponds of all sorts, don't they?
Yeah, there's somebody else I'm following on Instagram, and she's literally, it's like a Belfast sink.
Yeah.
So she's created a little pot, she's dug it down and put a Belfast sink in, and she's created a lovely little pond area by doing that. It's tiny, but it's great.
One thing we do know, and Craig, who works with us on the team, he gets all our plants for us and prepares the shows with us. He's got a pond, and he said, look, they'll sell because of the value and the price, because they're really good. And you'll know, we've had quite a few orders go through for these, and you will know if you've got a pond. To get 6 of these for $19.99 is incredible value for money. And the collection that's been put together has been specially curated, so you've got lots of different colours and heights here.
That's what I was going to say. I think this is a really lovely collection, because once you see what the different varieties are, you've got a variety of heights, different depths that they can be sort of, I was going to say planted at, but I mean submerged at.
Submerged.
You've got some that have got a spreading habit as well. So, there's a lot of variety in here. We've got the flowering rush. We've got the marsh marigold. We've got the common cotton grass. We've got the bog arum. We've got the pickerel weed, and we've got the bulrush in there as well. So some of them are going to grow tall, like the bulrush, 1.5 to 3 metres in height this can get to. Whereas the pickerel weed, only a couple of feet in height. There's another one that's the spreading one. Which one was that one? Perennial plant for pond edge. That's the marsh marigold. Got those beautiful yellow flowers on there. I think it's a really cleverly selected and put together variety of pond plants to give you a mixture of foliage, colours, shapes, sizes.
I just think it's wonderful.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Do you know what? Looking at those has inspired me to get a move on getting a pond.
That's it. Get your pond.
Yeah.
Dig a hole, Shaun. Come on.
I love the idea, though. I do. It brings so much nature to your garden, doesn't it, if you've got a pond?
It really does. It can invite so much nature into your garden, having a pond.
Right.
And you can have that lovely sound of moving water as well, which I just think is super relaxing.
One of my friends, I've only really got one really close friend that's into gardening as much as me, Matt. And he's got a pond. And it's taken a few years to get it already established, but it's amazing.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
My mum and dad used to have ponds, and they had a koi pond. It was both fish ponds, but one was a smaller one, and then they upgraded and got the massive one. She had a koi in there. It was beautiful.
Oh.
It was beautiful.
Well, thank you for ordering those, by the way. So it's new today and amazing value for this first show with a saving of £15 off our recommended retail price as well. Right.
Need to go
I don't know where the time's gone today.
Bye.
Been a busy show. Sorry, takes us a while to get there sometimes. Right, you've loved the Euphorbia, the Miner's Merlot.
I'm so glad.
I bought mine last week. Bex was looking at hers last year. You get 3 of these today for $49. So very easy to go. Mine are like dapple shade.
Yeah. Well,
yours must be. Does yours get a
mine
reasonable amount of
gets
sun?
so it's in the corner of the border, so it gets loads of morning sun. The sun comes around the house, probably hits it by about 8:30. And then it's gone by about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So it gets a good amount of morning sun, and then it's in shade for the rest of the afternoon. It seems to be the perfect spot because it is happy, it's having a wonderful
But we
time.
should say they are easy to grow.
Yeah, super
They're not
easy.
hard.
Planted it, left it.
Yeah.
There's very little that I've done to it. Can you see as I'm moving that? Can you see that lovely kind of olive green foliage under there as well? So you get the lovely Merlot colour, but you get that lovely kind of olive green foliage underneath as well. It's super interesting.
Yeah, fully evergreen. We get obviously the flowers this time of year as well. We are giving you 3 and they will look amazing. Lorraine sent hers, there it is.
Oh, it looks so good.
With a vinca at the front, I can see there.
You are supposed to trim it back, by the way. After flowering, you're supposed to trim it back a little bit. You're supposed to, by about 1/3. I mean, I didn't last year. I will this year because obviously I was just letting it get established.
I normally trim back the heads that are flowered and then you get more side shoots. But see, how good does that look? There's a hellebore to the left of it, then the vinca at the front. Just looks wonderful, doesn't it?
It looks absolutely glorious. I love it.
It looks like there's a bit of structure there as well.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah. And this is yours.
It is.
Glorious.
I do, I
Isn't
love
it?
it. And there's loads of ladybirds in there as well. And when I went to look at it, I was amazed at how many ladybirds were actually, sitting in that plant. So it clearly is one that they like.
Yeah.
And listen, we want the ladybirds in our garden. They eat all the other bugs, don't they?
Yeah.
They eat the aphids and that sort of stuff.
There'll be no white flies, green flies around there, Bex. I'm always when I see ladybirds, I'm always really happy.
Happy, yeah. So honestly, I didn't know this about it, but I was. You can see just coming into shot there, 2 on that one. But there was loads of ladybirds, so clearly it does invite them in as well.
Yeah. Well, absolutely glorious. You've loved it today. $14.97. That is for all 3 in the 9 cm spots. They do grow quickly as well. They're pretty fast growing, but they don't grow huge, but they do grow fast.
Only a couple of feet, basically, height and spread, but they will get to that very quickly.
Oh, yeah. I'm so glad you've loved those as much as we do. Right.
Doris.
Baby Doris, Danthus. 12 of these for just $14.99.
Yeah, you just need to put these in your basket because
I
these
think
are so reliable, so easy, absolute favourites. Just. This is gardening, isn't it? This is what you need in your garden in the summer.
And you know, sometimes you just, I think we said last week, you want 70% of your garden to be easy and maybe 30% that's a bit tricky, because otherwise if everything's difficult, it's just a labour of love. And if you're having to plant too much summer bedding every year, like I used to do, I used to get a bit bogged down with it. But now I've learned to have lots more perennials. I still love my summer bedding, but things that are just reliable, that you don't have to mollycoddle. And dianthus, they look after themselves, don't they?
Yeah, and they come back for you.
Yeah, and they're evergreen.
Yeah.
All you need to do is just chop off the dead flowers and they just keep going back and back all summer long.
I might get some baby Doris.
I think you should.
Yeah,
so
I might
front
do
of the
that.
border with these, about 30 centimetres height maximum. Great in pots, but the flowers are magnificent. There, look at that in a terracotta pot there.
That's gorgeous, isn't it? How many plants do we reckon that is? Well, they get to about 1 foot by 1 foot. So, I mean, it depends on the size of the pot, really, doesn't it? But if it's a 30 centimetre pot, I'd probably put 3 in.
Yeah.
That'd be bad.
What I tend to do if they're going in pots is I'd probably overplant them to start with. So
and then divide them.
And then divide them when the plants get too big. But they are amazing value. I mean, look how strong these plants are. I just show you, look at those roots.
Yeah. Lovely white fibrous roots on there.
And look
really good quality.
And you imagine, right, you've got the main shoot there, but look at all the side shoots coming.
Oh, could you propagate it, do you reckon?
It's very easy, when they form clumps, it's easy to divide the clumps.
Oh, okay.
My nan
I was
used to
thinking
do it.
about stopping them, cutting off the tops and maybe getting them to root. I wonder
Could
if you could
try.
do that. Never tried it, don't know.
But they're
Let us know
very
if
easy
you have.
to. They are very easy to divide when you get clumps of them.
Right.
Really easy. My nan used to just. We all had dianthus. We did. We really did. The whole street had dianthus.
Yeah, have a dianthus.
Yeah.
So, it's like me with my aloe vera.
Yeah.
That aloe vera plant keeps having babies.
Oh.
I've got to stop.
Do remember dianthus do like sun, so you want a lot of nice sun wherever you plant those. 401388. Well, what a show we have had, Bex. It's been lovely to spend some time with each and every one of you. We are back to it now. We didn't get to everything, so tomorrow.
Oh, we've got our lilac.
Yeah, and this is a double flowering one. You can actually buy it right now. It's on the show, but it's a double flowering one, so it will flower in springtime and in autumn, and it's more compact, about 1.5 meters. That one. Look at this.
We've got the hydrangea hot chocolate. It's called hot chocolate because of the leaf, the foliage colour. But I really want to draw your attention to the colour of the flowers on here. The colours of that is absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
So that one's coming up tomorrow.
And also, and again, you can buy any of these now. They're all on the show. We just didn't get around to showing them. Our oleanders, we're getting amazing feedback from those of you that have already placed your orders. They're still on the buy one get one free.
Yeah. He's looking at my flowers. Look at those.
Look at that though. Look at that oleander.
Look at my oleander.
So look, it's really worth tuning in tomorrow. We are live tomorrow. It's both of us again, actually. 10 o'clock till 1 o'clock.
Yeah, we'll have some new bedding plants for you to see as well tomorrow. So if you're interested in your summer bedding, do come back and join us 10 till 1.
But don't forget, use that offer code always, YGTV1424. Spend over £40 to get free postage. Join the club.
Definitely join the club.
And
That's
tune
where you
in
get
tomorrow.
Loads of savings.
It's been great, Bex, hasn't it?
Yeah, I've had loads of fun.
It's really
Thank
good,
you.
really good. Right,
My day.
from myself, Shaun Ryan, and Bex Edwards, and Stu, the most important person over there, doing all the technical stuff. His count is out. 3, 2, 1, bye!